Anyways, when we last left off, you guys had taken it upon yourselves to go explore the local village temple. I don't know if it actually finally loaded. Yeah, it loaded over there. It has not loaded over here. And figure out what's going on with the priests and what all they were doing while wandering through the temple of Gazra. You came to the realization that Gazra was sort of a fringe representation, more of a cultist type view. And behind the place, behind the temple, there were some secret rooms where various nefarious things were happening, including, as you guys were exploring, summoning some sort of a trap that brought a gigantic crab-like creature to attack the group. Despite some careful coordination by the group to make sure nobody was affected by any other spells and so forth through the fight, you ended up defeating the crab eventually, who disappeared in a splash of water, leaving nothing but the smell of seaweed and salt water in the room.
I'm still wondering why you cast that. Sorry. Sorry.
Maybe he's charmed.
It doesn't understand
Wanna
area effects.
I wanna search the water where it didn't emerge from that; it just appeared. So
Correct.
the pool there, see if there's anything in there.
Okay. 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 Classes. Okay. The hidden chamber is decorated floor to ceiling with disturbing carvings of devilfish, krakens, octopuses, squid, octopi, I guess, squid, and other bizarre sea life, as well as unsettling depictions of human women mating with strange fishmen from the sea. At the far end of the room, there's a semicircular pool of water standing before a large blood-stained altar. On the wall above the altar, there's the carving of a giant, unwinking octopoid eye gazing over the room, surrounded by sinister, twisting runes.
Can I do like religion check?
Sure.
33.
33, okay. You recognize the symbology here of representing the cult of Dagon, demon lord of the sea, sea monsters, and deformity. Commonly hidden under the guise of Gazra because they have very similar symbols and so forth. But this definitely seems to be a religion to a demon god.
Is there anything else on the altar other than blood?
Um, no.
Think we should bring the sheriff in on this?
No. Wasn't the sheriff in on the church?
That's what I kind of.
We don't know. He
Well, didn't he vote?
That was what the mayor was saying.
The mayor went. The mayor
Well,
went.
mayor-
He said because the mayor was the outsider.
Yeah, the mayor thought that the sheriff was in with the church.
Right, and the mayor and the sheriff said he was going to go look for the mayor who's disappeared.
Mhm.
Yeah, after a scuffle.
There's a door to the south from there. Is that a door or is that just a big brick?
I think it's probably another secret door.
That is the door.
Oh. Well, you always figure out what the next door offers.
Yeah. All right. Let's see if it's unlocked.
Okay.
Open all the doors at the same time. That always
One
works.
Gosh, that was a terrible.
Well, if my software would work, let me try closing Chrome and reopen it.
It's a mimic.
Is that a thing where a door can really just be a mimic and it's a mouth the whole time and just it closes when you go in?
Yes.
you the end.
Bear with me. That's probably not playing more than in like a year. Nothing works.
Yeah, I don't think we should really be telling the sheriff if we think that he's the reason behind the mayor's disappearance.
Okay, we gotta figure out where we're going.
The lake.
We can go to submarine guy. He'll get us there.
As long as withholding information isn't like
Sandwich
against
from
your
him. Sure hope
morals
it's
or
a big
anything.
submarine with like 8 people when you open there.
I hope so.
You can squeeze.
If not, some of y'all can turn into fish and whatnot.
That's right. Just hang on.
Oh yeah, I forgot
Hang on
there
to
is
the
that
outside.
guy who had the Renaissance era submarine prototype thing.
What's that? The submarine.
Yeah, 'cause yeah, the sheriff was.
No, there's a guy here that has a submarine.
There's
as
a
well.
guy.
Isn't that where you were down at under the water, exploring up this?
He was the guy we
shipwreck or
saved.
something?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was the ship you guys all jumped on with superhero poses with all your special abilities that you got. Just to save his boat.
That's right.
Use your sea jump or whatever.
That's right. Everybody was very excited to save his boat.
Except for me, I didn't go anywhere near the water.
I had no transport abilities, so.
I'll tell you, thank you for
Doors are not very buoyant.
I have sink abilities.
And I ended up getting disintegrated, so I can't use them anymore.
Come on, computer. You can do it. There we go. Okay. Okay, so you say somebody's going to go into the southern room?
I'll try to open the door.
Okay. I'm going to get rid of at least a few of these templates since you don't have a wall of fire or anything like that anymore. Okay.
That was a wall of pure virtue.
Darkness
Feet of
and
pure virtue.
Okay. Southern room is similar to the other one.
There's headless bodies in there too.
No, there are no headless bodies here. There is a simple wooden bench standing against the far wall of the small chamber next to a pool of dark water. There are two people in here. They look like villagers. They're sitting on the bench. Looks like a couple, man and a female, man and woman. The woman is crying. The guy is trying to console her. As you open up the door, they look up in shock and surprise at you. Yes.
Why are you so sad?
And the most monotone voice.
Yes. Why the tears?
Having just killed the evil crab creature and everything, you step in finding a couple completely oblivious to the fight that had just happened.
That was their pet.
Yeah. No, they said, who are you? What are you doing here?
We're investigating the disappearance of
But you're not a priest.
Don't-
Where's Father Voltario?
Haven't seen Father Valtaria. We found headless bodies over there.
What?
Yeah, bodies with no heads. And then a crab creature in this room. And then we open the next room and I find crying people. This is just getting weirder and weirder.
Well, I don't know anything about that. Father Voltarius told us to stay here while they ran the ceremony with our daughter. We've been waiting since. It's been most of a day.
Did they come in here? Into this
Well, yeah, they brought us here and told us to wait.
No, where did they go with your daughter? Into this room that I'm standing
Yes.
in? Okay, so there was a giant crab monster in here and no children.
The crab ate it.
Well, wait a minute. How old
The
is
the
her
the
daughter?
lady is like completely hysterical at this point,
So I'm gonna
especially being told that the crab ate her baby.
I'm gonna take the guy. I'm gonna take the guy over to the bodies
Okay.
and see if that's his children's headless body.
No.
No, well
No,
that's
they were they were adults.
He has to make an
The bodies.
insanity save.
Alright,
Yes.
well,
Seen a bunch of
Yeah.
headless bodies.
how old is the
crowd
daughter?
wants the girl.
She's only 3 months.
Oh, 3 months. Alright, so
What
this
about the
isn't
lady
like.
who was rocking in the rocking chair? The baby she was holding.
Well, that was all the way back in the scary area.
Alright, well, at least it isn't like. Because I thought at first it was.
Where's Father Voltario?
Do not know. Haven't seen Father Voltario. Where?
What's with all the blood?
Yeah, that's.
What
We just killed a crab.
Crab turned to water.
Oh.
Well, what kind of ceremony was he performing on your daughter?
it was the fostering.
Oh, the fostering.
Yeah.
Is that when they give your baby away? Fish people?
Well, it's our custom.
To give away your babies to fish people.
So many insanity saves.
Yeah, all second and third daughters are given to the church for the fostering.
Oh goodness. I know where we need to go, guys. That means that Father Voltaire took her to
The same place we just came from.
yeah, with the bell and all that kind of stuff. We
So
still got
what?
the key to get through, right? Yeah. They take it and they give your baby away. So
The bleached one.
Well, that's how it's always been here in Saltmarsh
and you just give away your.
or Illmarsh. Saltmarsh is a different town.
What kind of protection do you get for this? Like you trade your children, you better be getting some real protection.
I don't know. Our daughters are sent to the neighbors. They bring peace and prosperity to the town.
Give me a sense motive him and see if he's trying to hide something from us.
Sure. What's your sense motive?
15 is perception.
Okay.
It wasn't the fostering area where those eggs were.
That's where the bell was, and that's where they drop the kids off. So we gotta go back over there.
That's what I said. And you said I was wrong.
Right? They just took her like hours ago. That means we're
No, a day or two ago.
a day or two, and we
Yeah.
came back a day ago because we spent the night.
Yeah.
We gotta go
Well,
all
there's
the
the
way
group
back.
of priests.
Yeah, they according to them, they were told to stay here, and wait for Father Voltario to return. He hasn't.
We gotta go find a Father Voltaire.
Should we tell them that the kid could have potentially been sacrificed?
No, they understand.
That's pretty stupid to say.
They know they did that.
So then
Well,
why
that
are
and
they
you
crying?
just showed them a whole bunch of headless bodies and everything else. That they don't seem to be able to hide anything. They're almost in. They're just in complete shock.
Okay.
Bunch of armed guys that are not with the church just broke into the church and sold them and showed them a bunch of bodies.
They could have been hiding something.
They don't understand what all this problem is. They're loyal worshippers of Gazra. As per their custom, all families are always required to sacrifice their second and third daughters to the neighbors in order to bring peace and prosperity to the town. They did just that as the community demanded.
This place is
And now some armed people broke into our church and have killed people, lopped their heads off and everything. They're very confused and very fearful for their life at this point.
Yeah, we didn't lop anybody's head off. These heads were already missing because there's no heads here. Like, what would we do with their heads?
Well, I have no idea. Why would you lop their heads off?
But we didn't.
Second of all, this isn't a church for Gaza, anyways.
Look
It's
at
a
the
false
altar.
church of Gaza.
Yeah.
Well, no, these are all symbols of Gazra.
No, they're not.
No, they're symbols of.
Where'd you write it?
Give me a
Dagon.
minute, let me.
Dagon, the demon lord.
We don't know who Dagon is.
Yeah,
Exactly.
This
'cause
is
it's-
Gazra.
No, it's not.
See the tentacles? That represents Gazra. His warm embrace.
Dagon.
It's warm embrace of the demon.
The warm embrace of the tentacle.
Yes.
I want to check that wall and see if it's like a magic wall the same way as the one that was in the
Ooh, a magic.
A magic wall.
behind the altar. Like if they came in here, they might have ran out the other door, but there's probably a better chance that they've got a fast track doorway to make the door. Same thing as
Punch the wall. And if
Yeah.
it doesn't break, it's magic.
magic wall.
Gosh dang.
Okay,
So you checked the altar to Gazra.
The altar and the.
No, it seemed just like a regular altar.
Alright. Well, I don't like people being slaughtered on altars to demons, so I'll break the altar.
It's a big stone slab. How are you planning to break it?
My hammer. Just take a while. Okay. I'm gonna check around the base of the altar the same way the other stone table that we found had like a little box. I'm gonna see if I can find if there was a little space.
No, there's nothing there.
Nothing like that here.
No Easter goat here.
No Easter goat. Man, do we still have that thing?
I think I have
Yeah,
it.
somebody's got an Easter.
Someone has it.
Yeah, we should go back down there.
Oh, is there any more rooms to this place?
I don't think so, because that's like a circular, it goes all the way around. So
Are we gonna take these people with us, or are we just gonna leave them here?
Does it look like the water is standing water? Or
Yes.
Does it appear like okay? So, and does
The water in all 3 rooms appears to be standing water.
okay?
Someone should try and drink it.
yeah,
Or
enjoy.
what
Or
happens.
look in it. Can't you see through
Can
water?
Is there a reflection in the water?
Of yourself, yes,
Oh, okay. I was just making sure it wasn't like.
or somebody that looks similar to you.
Oh.
You said it's dark water, not clear water.
Correct.
Right? So you can
Dark,
see
murky
through-
water.
you can see
Oh, I
through
can
murky-
see through
Yeah.
murky water.
So you
What-
can see the bottom.
Can I see the bottom?
You can see the bottom. It's a couple of feet deep. Give me a perception check.
Okay. I forgot I could do that stuff.
See a goat.
Temple comes out back.
What their goat.
Man, I got 22.
22. It also it appears to be filled with small swimming things.
There's small swimming things in the water.
Are they fishes or tadpoles?
Sort of like tadpole size.
Sort of like tadpoles.
Wait a minute.
Several dozen.
Tadpoles, frog people.
It's babies.
Can you guys electrocute the water?
Lightning bolt the water.
I mean,
Oh, this is probably the nursery room.
well, that was what we found down there was another set of nursery.
Well, maybe they have the like.
We're,
first-
we're gonna go to the sheriff.
That's a good idea.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
They
We didn't do this.
the guy leads his wife away. You hear them running away with her screaming and bawling and everything,
I will cast.
calling loudly for the sheriff.
Should we go?
You want me to electrocute the
Yeah.
water?
Should we go back to the dimension door or the cave entrance side that we came out of? Because we know where that's at too.
We're gonna get locked up if we keep this up. We're looking more and more suspicious.
You really
to the
think
sheriff.
one sheriff's gonna be able to lock up this entire group?
Okay,
Two
no.
deputies.
And
Good
then
point.
the
I mean-
deputies you gotta look out
In a
for.
back. In a back.
Well,
room.
this is how Batman became him himself. So.
I mean, good point. My character, one of my characters, literally did.
So whichever works for you guys.
There's also the second floor of that mansion. I don't think they explored that.
And we're going to the mansion anyway.
Yeah.
Because they're
Disembodied
Dumping.
voice. Exactly, it's the narrator.
that's right.
It's like the little pop-up things, like you should go back here and claim your quest.
Yeah. Head out that way. What do you think?
Sure. This isn't war.
I mean, I guess we could talk to the sheriff
We can.
and
Okay.
figure out what he knows.
So I need to know what we're gonna do if he tries to arrest us.
I'll do what Casper did,
I don't know.
Shoot the villager in the face.
Yeah.
except sheriff.
Yeah. We shouldn't.
No.
You don't have a gun anyway. So.
Except I'll turn into a T-Rex.
Okay.
instead.
Well, again, keep in mind, you guys are all good characters.
We're
Fine.
backwoods sheriff. So I mean,
I'll just
are
tongue
we
disarm
running?
him
Are
with
we
his
running
handcuffs.
away from them
Uh,
to continue, or are we just getting out of town?
As misled as the sheriff may be, he is still the law of this area.
Okay, so we're
So-
not gonna get any 5-star one levels.
So
Hey,
There
that'd
is
be
a
great new
room
game. GTA,
at the
but
beginning we
Pathfinder.
did not look into.
on the other side.
We had just right over here. Looking at the map.
All right, we can go out that way.
Yeah, we can go out
And
that
then
way.
go out front
Okay.
and see if the sheriff is here yet. Because if they're running to the sheriff, it's not that far for them.
Yeah, like just across the courtyard.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, we'll go in the.
You check out that room. It's just another a prayer room.
Did those people when they ran out, did they take their shoes that were sitting there?
No, they were too hysterical. They just ran for the sheriff, yelling and screaming for help.
Are they nice shoes?
No.
Okay.
You could take their shoes.
All right, we'll go outside and wait. Yeah, running away makes us look guilty. We might as well. We'll wait for the sheriff to show up.
Okay.
We can show him the crime scene that we didn't commit.
And even then, if we're put on trial, we can still explain ourselves.
Yeah. The fish
Didn't
people.
do it.
The people that sacrifice their children to fish. I don't know.
Or maybe they'll take
Yeah,
us right
fish-
to the
fish
sacrifice
trial.
place.
Okay. So you guys just head out to the courtyard?
Yeah, is the sheriff there already?
Yeah, the sheriff is. You can see the sheriff across the courtyard talking with the family. They keep gesturing back towards you guys. A small crowd has started to emerge from their houses and everything. They rapidly gather, and then after a little bit, they get the gumption up to walk across to talk to you guys. There's maybe a couple dozen or so.
Yeah, we want the sheriff.
Yeah, the sheriff leads them over there. It says, I hear tell that you've been trespassing on the church.
We absolutely did. We found.
This
We found
this
some
this is
disturbing
a this is a church of the town.
Feel free to come in here and take a look at what we found, though.
Well,
And then we can talk about trespassing if you want to.
well, according to these two, you've been chopping off people's heads and then claiming demons.
Now there are demon god implications on the walls, and the heads were already off the bodies, and there's no heads to be found. We had to ask them if this was their kid because their kid disappeared.
Well, yeah, but the Tudley's kid is only 3 months old.
Right. Well, we didn't know that, so that's why I asked them to come identify the body. But just come
Okay.
in here and look.
Okay, he and a couple of the other villagers walk in, look around. They get quite horrified at the whole thing. You guys did all this?
No, we did none of this.
What? Who do you think you are doing this to our church?
Yeah, we came in because we were sure, with evidence that I brought you earlier, on behest of the mayor.
Well, where's the mayor?
That's
He can
what
speak
were-
for you,
were
right?
Supposed to go find him, remember? Because
Well-
he disappeared. We said he.
Well, yeah, that was only an hour ago.
Right. Did you guys find him?
Not in the last hour, no.
Okay, well, you
And
guys needed
in the
to-
meantime, you guys have destroyed the church.
No, we didn't.
What's happened? What happened to this altar? It's all banged up.
Why is there blood sacrifices on the altar?
They're fish blood.
Yeah, I don't know about that. That doesn't look like fish blood to me.
Well, do you know the teachings of Gazra?
I do not, but I've seen teachings of Dagon, and this is Dagon, not Gazra.
Well, I've lived here my whole life, and this is the teachings of Gazra. I don't know what you guys are doing here, but I'm going to have to ask you guys to leave.
Well, your priests have misled you. This is not Gazra. The priests have misled you.
The priests who have lived here their whole life and studied the teachings of Gazra.
It's not Gazra they're teaching.
And where did you study?
Well, Pharasma. Church of Pharasma.
Okay. And why should I trust that your knowledge is so much better than all of the priests we have?
Because your priests are backwoods idiots.
Okay. Well, yes, I'm gonna need you guys to pack your bags and leave town.
Okay.
We don't need any of you outsiders coming here and telling us stupid hicks what to do in our life in our town and everything. We'll be fine.
All right.
Gazra will protect.
Okay. We'll leave town. We get away from the crowd themselves.
Okay.
People. Okay. We're leaving town, but we're heading straight to the
What? No vacation home somewhere else.
vacation
Yeah.
home in the woods.
That's through town to the other way. I mean, the road goes through town. It only goes one place.
Yeah, we can go out of town. He just wants us to leave town. We'll head over to the
Okay.
The one place we found.
the old town founder's house.
Okay. That's fine. As you guys are heading out that direction, he says, we expect you guys don't come back to town. We'll have to arrest you.
Understood.
We understand we might not be able to, but we'll do what we need to defend ourselves.
We will not come back through town.
Okay.
Tell you, Gosser won't defend you.
Just throwing the last punch
Send-
out there.
Send Boffin into murder.
Okay.
Alright, so
Robert comes back with a knife.
I don't think Boffin's still
going in.
alive. He ran into the woods and never came back.
I can turn into a Tyrannosaurus.
Wow.
Still doesn't help. Okay,
Yeah,
so
'cause
avoid the
you're
town.
bopping
I got
knife.
you. All right, so we go into the founder's house where the
Okay.
druid's horse.
Oh
friend
my
was.
gosh! And now the
It all-
gods have
it all-
gotten angry.
That's
and they-
right. Gazra is upset with you.
That's Dagon. At least I can pronounce that name. 2 syllables are fine for me. We start getting to 3, I can't get Upteka.
It's always fun how much confidence everybody puts when you never know whether I roll a 1.
Right, El Taco. Her name is El Taco. What's that?
I know, I just everyone did.
El Taco.
Yeah, I keep pronouncing it. You want to run upstairs and check upstairs when we get there?
There's also a table behind you if you want to use it.
I don't know if it loaded or not.
It did.
Okay.
On our end, it did.
Then we could all go upstairs, I guess.
That's what I was thinking.
I want to check to see if the stone table that was in that room is still. It doesn't have like a baby sitting on it or something. Before we head upstairs.
Okay, so you go into the main room.
Yeah, where I found the goat egg thing.
Sure. That room appears to be pretty much how you left it.
Okay. Let's go upstairs and look around a little bit and see if more goat egg babies or anything. I guess.
Goat egg babies.
I don't remember what they said. Someone said it was a goat eye. Someone said it was an egg.
It's a goat egg.
So I was
Goat
like,
egg.
goat egg babies. I don't know.
Common in Gazra worshipping goat eggs.
Goat
The
egg babies.
egg actually makes it go eye.
Goats are natural, aren't they?
I bet it doesn't look like goat. I bet it looks like a tadpole. That's what it is. It's a giant tadpole.
Or giant goat.
I'm not sure. We found it in the goat god of chaos church area here. It's probably goat egg.
Probably. The goat dragon.
Okay, remind me next time. Don't update the game a couple of hours before the game because it's like all confused.
Well, you try closing Foundry and reopening it.
The entire server.
Our end's fine. I would just do your end.
That's the problem. It's the GM one that's doing the other processing or whatever.
Or you just never update the thing and you're good.
That's how you do it.
That works all done.
Problem solved.
It is.
That's how I deal with Steam.
If you don't update it, then you don't have all the new issues the new updates bring.
That's fun.
Exactly.
Nope.
You say.
I'm still on Minecraft 1.3 because of that.
You should stay thankful.
They have bees now?
You seriously have a magnet for your pencil?
Oh.
They have bees now.
That's interesting.
No, I'm not on Varsity.
So does anyone have the spell create food? Because I feel like that might be necessary.
I have
for
create
us.
food.
Okay. Enough for all of us?
I can speak with the animals and then we can make them
Or you can
That's
just
a
eat
very
the animal.
problem solved.
Have the animal make us food when the food is actually the animal.
There is a horse thorn there.
Living the high life with the horse on the road.
Walking horse.
Yo, horse.
That's a lot of money.
Well, the horse wasn't that, it was skin and bones.
If we find the baby alive, how are we going to return it to town if they don't want us in town?
Well, they don't want the baby back.
Oh.
We use it
Well,
as
we could-
ransom.
Blood
Then we get
sacrifice to
rich.
Pharasma.
We found like
Blood for the blood guy.
We
Well,
find
what
like
we do with the baby
Balance in all things.
we find like stork, whatever that bird's name is. We found it out there.
Oh, there you go. You can do your pterodactyl
Yeah.
to get back to town.
That's right.
They're like, oh, it's the stork. Oh my gosh, it's a giant pterodactyl.
Just launch it in a catapult.
guys are all inspiring heroes.
We are lawful good.
We
the
could
whole
raise
party.
the kid to become a child soldier
What?
and send him into battle against the big dragon.
If in Ice Age they were able to take care of a baby, we can take care of a baby.
Good luck with stealth, guys.
And we have something that they don't.
Okay, so you guys are back at the main room with the table. There's no sign of a baby. There's no sign of any disturbances there. Then from there, you wanted to do what?
Go up to the second level. We
Okay.
haven't looked up there at all, and just see if there's anything.
Okay, you're here. The stairs go up to a single door at the top. At least from the room with the large table.
Is there? This seems kind of sturdy up here. I know this was a dilapidated house. I just don't want to.
In this area, yeah, but it's still in decent shape. It's not crumbling. There is a section in the southeast that was collapsing, but this, for the most part, seems stable.
We'll open that door here at the top of the stairs.
Okay. Okay, you guys head up there. It opens up into a room.
There's so many of us.
Why do we have 10 people? We should only have
Don't worry about it, Ben. I'm trying to go quick because the software isn't working completely. But let me pause and remove all these extra characters. Tabris and Thorin.
And more characters, more manpower.
Okay. Basically, that is a living room type thing. The room has weathered the years better than the rest of the house. Wooden shutters remain closed over the windows, keeping most of the elements out. There's a hearth standing on one wall, over which hangs an elegantly rendered painting of a tall ship in the midst of a storm. Spaced about the room are several cushioned armchairs, and a wooden pipe rack hangs upon the south wall.
Smoking pipes.
Yes. Looks like it would have been in like an entertainment room. Entertaining room, better said.
Does it look like it's been used at all, like the fireplace or anything like that?
It looks like it has been fairly recently searched.
Are there pipes on the pipe rack?
There are some old pipes on the pipe rack.
Take a look at them.
Okay.
They tend to be
Okay.
ornate and
Everybody give me a perception roll that's there.
27.
27.
23.
32.
Okay. While you guys are spreading out, looking around the room, Ack, in behind one of the chairs, you find the remnants of a body dressed in priest robes. Looks like a fairly high-ranking member of the Church of Gazra. The body is obviously dead since the head is missing, and it looks like something erupted or came out through its neck. It's been ripped open from the inside around the neck.
Is this the baby or?
No, it's a
This is a high-ranking member of the church.
Okay, so that's
So-
the
since they don't normally give the top ranks to the babies, then you lose rank as you get older. That's a Mork thing.
That could be the new way to run it.
It's okay. Go home and watch that now. Want to search the body.
Okay. He has a wand, a nice suit of chainmail, a trident, a silver dagger, a ring, well-made cloak, a necklace made out of gold with the religious symbology, a key, a medallion made out of gold, made out of a reddish gold, resembling a cross between an eel, a fish, and an octopus, and a tiara. A tiara.
Okay.
And a symbol of Gazra.
Man, this dude has a lot of stuff.
I told you he was a high priest.
How recent is the body look dead? Like, is the blood still?
Still sticky? Yes.
Yeah.
There's also a trail that leads from the body about 10 or 15 feet away towards one of the doors before it fades away.
Does it look like footprint
No.
trails or drag trails?
More drag trail.
Is it coming?
His head's gone.
Yes.
It's not sitting here.
Yes.
I'm gonna look at the key, see if it's something that I would recognize. Type of key, or if it's a.
It
like a
is.
house key.
It's an iron key. Has an engraving of a ship on the end of it, but other than that, it just looks like a normal key.
I want to go over by the painting then. You said there was a ship.
Yeah.
Painting.
There was.
I'm gonna look for a keyhole.
Okay.
I guess.
It's the painting itself. There's no keyhole that you see. The painting itself is in great condition. Looks very well done. The detail on it is fairly extensive. It's a fairly large painting. The ship is labeled as the Conqueror.
If I hold the key up, does it look like the same ship on the key? Similar?
Vaguely.
Okay.
The pipe rack, you were asking if it had pipes. It has 3 of them. One made of meerschaum in the shape of a whaling vessel. One carved from scrimshaw, carved in... Oop, careful.
Dang it.
Carved into a... Mulder will help you.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's good at cleaning up. Carved into an unidentifiable mass of hair, seaweed, or tentacles. You're not really sure what the pipe is designed to look like. And one carved from soapstone in the form of a bizarre fish frog woman. Give me a nature check. Nature knowledge. For anybody who's there.
Oh,
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna take it over to
Yeah,
someone who knows about nature.
Okay.
I got a 30.
30.
got a 30.
Okay. The frog woman, the fish frog woman, bears a resemblance to scum, the creatures you guys were fighting down below. Though from your knowledge, there are no females of the scum race. And then give me a religion check.
I'll give that time.
Okay.
I got a
Probably better than that.
natural 20 for 33.
Natural 20.
Oh, there we go.
Well, obviously.
Obviously.
The mass of hair, seaweed, or tentacles, the carving. I mean, it's wood, but it's carved to look sort of like that, unidentifiable. it looks to be a representation of of some sort of creature referred to as a Shub-Niggurath. Extra dimensional tentacles creature.
We saw a description of that in the books at the very beginning that we delivered. It was one of those described in there that is terrifying.
There was.
Okay.
Isn't it Shub-Niggurath, the goat god?
No. This is the beast that lies at the bottom. It's
It looks
more
like a
ancient than the
sarlacc.
world itself. Yeah. It's a ancient entity from outside the dimension that we were in.
Mm-hmm.
It likes the dark and the deep.
Mm-hmm.
Where
And
we
its
are
god
gonna
is
go.
H.P. Lovecraft. Just gotta get a really big fishing reel.
That's right. Annette or something. Ooh, man. I'm gonna take the 3 pipes.
Okay.
The first pipe was a ship. No.
A whaling
No.
ship.
Yeah, whaling ship.
Whaling ship that was made out of Marshone.
Meerschaum.
Meerschaum.
Does anyone have detect
It's like
magic?
a ivory.
I do.
Yeah, because we got a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, we got a bunch of
tridents,
stuff.
wands, rings.
I'll use detect
Tiara.
magic.
Do you have detect magic memorized?
I think
Yep.
Druids did that.
It's universal, I believe.
You wanna do this together?
Okay.
So is it a ship that is screaming or a ship hunting whales? 'Cause
Yes.
It's a whaling ship.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a screaming ship that's also hunting whales.
Oh man, it's really.
It's a whaling ship.
A whaling ship.
You're gonna make
Gotta
a great
get the
dad
whales on.
someday, just so you know, Craig. You're not a great
I
dad.
That's what I'm here for.
It's all about the puns. Okay, so you got to do some detect magic. The wand is magical. The chainmail is magical. The trident is magical. The silver dagger is magical. His cloak is magical. His ring is magical. The medallion is magical.
Tiara.
Tiara is not magical.
I'm wearing it.
Tiara implies like little girl princess. This is more of a ceremonial priest tiara type
gotcha.
thing.
Oh,
Okay.
I thought the priest just thought he was a pretty
Lame
princess.
excuse.
You know why? You could have been fairy godmother for all we know.
You could have. None of the pipes are magical.
The mirror.
I didn't know if it's like
The
you
picture
blow
on the
one
The
wall.
up
picture
and
is
you
not
get a
magical,
whale.
no.
And then you put
The mirror is also not magical, and the photo, it doesn't exist.
She rolled the identify.
On what?
I don't know which one.
Or spending time.
Just for fun.
Okay. Okay, on the wand. That is a wand of heal, level 1.
Now you'd said before that they have to be able to cast the spell to use the wand. Is that right?
Correct. Or they have to have a skill to let them pretend to be the person that has the skill to use it.
Trick magic at them.
Yeah.
Keith, you want to identify some magical objects? Do you got that ability?
We have to roll
You've al-
each one.
You would have to choose what skill you want to use, whether it's arcade, religious, or whatever. All of these appear to be religious items. Because he's a religious 3-month-old.
How about arcane?
No. They don't appear to be arcane in nature. They all appear to be religious artifacts.
With my ancient lore,
Religious.
does it look like the painting has any
Anybody's got
historical
religion?
significance?
I got
Yes.
12. Jimmy got higher than that.
Okay, you want me to roll?
Sure.
Okay. Of course, this is where I roll low. I got a total of 20.
A total of 20? Okay. Yeah, I mean, it from the nature of the town and everything else, you would suspect this is a depiction of the the Undiamede family and his most likely his boat, his ship.
So the high-ranking priest. I'm feeling like this is.
Yeah, Yeah, that high priest.
Yeah.
I forget his name, Bill.
Yeah, that
Like Ponzi Vladimir.
that
That ain't right.
that,
Sorry.
that you were that was mentioned like 5 minutes ago.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we
I was
had to
busy
walk
writing-
all the way over
I was
here. It was
busy
like a
writing-
couple hours.
Trying to remember how to spell octopi.
Octopuses is actually
Yeah.
grammatically correct.
Okay.
Octopi, octopus.
They change it every year in
So,
school.
do they have to have identify object or just religion skill?
They
to
need
identify?
they need to have detect magic
Yeah.
to be able to detect it as magical, and they need to have whatever knowledge that they would have. So any spellcaster has detect magic,
Yeah.
assuming they have it memorized.
But then religion.
Religion in
you've
this
already
case,
seen
yes.
It's already been magical.
Right.
Okay. Then if you wanna
Which one would you like me to do?
start with the chainmail.
Huh?
And work our way through.
I like to search for secret items in the room.
Okay.
Like check the chimney.
35.
Okay. It
Everyone
is
hides
a +1 chainmail. Just basic rune.
Plus one chainmail chimney. Oh yeah. God.
Ring.
23.
23. That one might be more challenging. Mainly because the software has to actually do something useful.
Ring of fireball.
It's better when it's not on.
Ring of the Magi.
Summons a bunch of magi.
One of
We misread it. It's ring of magpies and a bunch of birds fly
Oh,
out.
that makes sense.
Okay. Ring of the Shargoth. You summon a Shargoth.
What's a shark?
It's that nasty demon beast from the book.
Wait, is it that thing with many eyes?
It gives you a
that are
constant
tentacles?
message spell with the Shargoth. So you can talk to it all the time.
The shark. The
Talk
shark.
to it.
The shark.
Hey, Shawna, what is this then?
And you hear
What
noises
is
that
this
drive you
Shargoth?
Insane
Shargoth.
while
What
you
is a
listen to it
Shargoth?
speak.
Yeah.
Well, time to call it Cthulhu.
It's like a podcast, you know.
Riddle me this.
Okay, that is a Ring of the Ram.
We know that.
We
Yeah.
had one of those.
Yeah, we have to.
No, that's good. That's all right.
Can you use two of them at the same time?
No.
2 rams.
Then you'd be the one.
Got that cloak.
With his
I never watched that
38.
one.
It's a cloak with a resistance rune, whatever the first level is.
The gold necklace.
Gold necklace wasn't magical.
Oh, the medallion. Wasn't that magic?
Yeah, the medallion was.
Oh, okay.
22.
22. Yeah, it is unidentifiable, but seems to have some sort of abjuration effect.
Is that like
where it
illusions?
transmutates.
Yeah.
You have another ring
Oh.
with a ram.
Abjuration is protection.
Oh.
I'm not a spellcaster, so I wouldn't know such things.
A silver dagger, I think.
Did you ever take that ability that lets you take some spell slot?
38.
It's a +1
No,
striking
I got
silver
it.
dagger.
I mean, I like daggers.
The trident.
Oh yeah, trident was the last one. I missed it.
My trident's one-handed.
27.
Can't get that one.
Not striking. It's not going to really do anything for you.
Okay.
Just a second.
Yeah, it would. But do like 2d4.
So necklace is not magic.
And a tiara with a headdress. It's not magical. Beats in tiara. Throws me.
Well,
That we know.
well,
Could be just like really high level.
Should we take his costume, his vespers, to
No, the cloak is a cloak of invisibility, so it can't be tell.
Ben.
The town that just
Ben.
killed him.
be sneaky?
You're dead right now. Shh.
Be sneaky with?
Kind of recognizable as outsiders in the
No, I
town.
didn't mean in town. I meant like as we go down back into the.
It's kind of covered in blood, also.
Oh yeah, that's probably bad. Yeah. Well,
We can go clean it up.
I should. Yeah. Anybody have prestidigitation? Okay. Did you find any secrets in here with your fanciness?
I don't think so.
Okay, the trident is +2 greater striking
Oh.
Oh, that's a pretty good trident.
and allows you to, when you concentrate on it, allows you to determine the location, depth, kind, and number of aquatic predators within 600 feet.
Oh,
Basically, you concentrate and point, and it gives you like a radar sense for where things are.
Fish
we
finder.
should stick that
It is
on
a
the
fish
front
finder.
of the submarine.
Sounds like
And then-
an expensive sonar.
Yeah.
What's the frequency of it? Can you do it like how many times per day?
You can scan a hemisphere, so 180 degrees, every round, once a round. No real limit on it.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Unlimited power.
You scan half the world. Scan the Eastern.
Maybe we should give
Is
it
it a
to
one bolt
Doge
item?
since he likes to swim.
It's a trident.
Is it trident?
Yeah,
I think
Okay.
it is.
tridents are, I think, two-handed,
Yeah.
but
They're one or
Tridents.
two-handed. They're one-handed. Yeah, base
But they're
traders
also
are one-handed.
throwable.
D8 damage.
I wouldn't think
Well,
of
now
like,
3d8 damage since it's striking too.
I will. I'll carry that.
Do you have Raging Thrower?
He's dead. I'm dead. Yeah. So
Oh,
no.
never mind.
I didn't have it when I was alive either. We're currently talking to the narrator.
So
Yeah.
you didn't, you
The
didn't,
narrator does not have weapons except the plot.
Wait, how did
Which
you
is the
die?
best
you didn't
weapon
find
at
anything
all.
in the chimney or anything like that.
Yeah, the sun.
Oh,
Like I did the
oh,
sun
yeah.
for too long.
Okay.
So I'll take the key and the trident.
Was the embers hot in the chimney?
Do you have? Do you already
Or
have
like
a wand
the
of Bill?
fireplace area?
no.
No.
Yeah, I do. I was wondering if Carter or Ben wanted.
'Cause you guys are capable of casting.
I'll take a Wand of Heal.
Okay.
Is in what level is it?
It's level 1,
Oh, wow.
but hey, it's nice to use instead of spells.
Oh, I already have a staff.
Wasn't
of
there
healing.
like a ring of ram or something?
There
Yes.
was. So you got the ability to add stuff to you. Add
How much weight can it tell?
because he's already got a staff of
Who?
heal.
The ring of the
She's
ram.
got a
How
wand
much
of
weight
healing.
can the ring of the
I've got
ram
a wand of
tell?
restoration.
It doesn't. It's a.
I can
It doesn't. It's not a. It's not a
Yeah,
ram.
'cause-
New ram 2023.
No.
Using
No.
less of your spells would be better.
Yeah, I'll do it.
I need a better
I'll do
one.
the heal.
This
Trade in.
acts as my a spell slot, right? The staff.
You might not be.
No. Yes, you have to load it every day. The staff he has to load every
And
day
that
with a spell.
ring just
Correct.
gives
No,
you
the
a
staff
go.
has so many charges, and you
you
can
have to look
load
up what it
additional
does.
spells.
Right.
Oh,
Has
gotcha.
10 charges every day, typically.
Well, it's the amount of charges equal to the highest level spell
Gotcha.
on the staff. So 5.
Gotcha.
Yeah, 5 charges, and then you spend a charge per level.
But it's not your spell slot, so
Okay,
Okay,
so
that's
it's
good
free
to know.
heal spells.
Yeah.
Okay.
but keep track of what you're doing, obviously. Let's see. You are ring around's not gonna help you.
What does the ring around call?
It does blunt force trauma damage and it
Oh.
pushes somebody if you
And
use more
So,
charges.
like a
of it.
telekinetic push.
Yeah.
Wait, what if we had the? What if we gave it to the rogue, right? And he would be able
I'm
to
an
stealth-
archaeologist.
They
an
don't have-
archaeologist, right? And he stealth behind people on cliffs, and then they're just standing there, and they don't know he's there, and then bam, slams them off a cliff.
I actually think that's a pretty good idea. I don't usually
I-
agree with the druid.
I think that's a great plan because the rest of the campaign is all going to be on a cliff.
Yes.
It's in
We have
theory.
so many.
it's
So not going into the lake where pushing people doesn't do anything.
in
but-
theory.
It's like schoolyard. I go down and sneak behind him and get down on my hands and knees, and they ring a ram him over me. He falls over.
Yeah, pull him off the, push him off the
Okay.
coral
Go
reef.
ahead.
Or when the archaeologist is in the front and somebody decides they want to run on forward, he can ram them back and say, "You
That's
stay where you are."
Yeah.
Let's see what else.
I'll take the exit up there.
It's abjuration.
You're going to take that with a plan of knocking people off a cliff, and there won't be a single cliff for the rest of the campaign.
Can I
Yeah,
try and identify the medallion using my religion?
You can try.
I have a plus 15, so. 28.
28. You're not able to determine what it does, but it has some sort of divination power.
Dang.
Divination is the same as abjuration, is that right?
Nope.
Oh,
No.
so it's got two every time. Oh, hey, you want to try to identify the medallion?
Sure. Am I using religion?
You can use
Yes.
religion or any of those.
Or religion. You can use any skill you want as long as it's religion.
Where was it right?
It does.
Or if you have a
11.
lore spell.
11. Yeah,
I
it
don't
doesn't.
have good
It's
religion.
not magical as far as you can tell.
Now it's my turn.
Got it.
2.
No, 3.
All right,
Okay.
religion. 24.
24. That doesn't seem to be magical to you.
Okay. Who wants this not
Could I
magical
see-
medallion?
Could I see if it has any historical relevance with my ancient regional?
I don't care.
I got a 33.
33. Okay. There is no historical relevance that you're aware of.
Can I like
Not historical.
Can
so
I,
it's from
like,
the future. Yeah.
attach the medallion to myself to see if anything happens when I do that?
Okay, let me ask you to specify exactly how you are intending to attach the medallion to yourself.
Well, how do you
Like wear it?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought-
Not like
You've done crazier things.
yes. That's why I wanted to be clear here.
The man to try and find a werewolf. I mean,
Okay, so if you put the medallion on your head, it doesn't seem to do anything for you.
is there like a button I can press on it?
Suddenly,
Activate
just like the
medallion.
gauntlet, it's now stuck on you.
Okay, so the medallion was a. What was the description? It was it resembled a cross between an eel, a fish, and an octopus.
Can I try?
So sure, there's various nubs on it that you can certainly press. They don't seem to do anything.
Could it be another key to the portal thing?
Well, maybe it turns you into an eel or something.
There you go.
I can eat it and we'll figure out.
You can hold it above your head and say "form of eel."
If I shake it, does anything happen?
No,
If I spin it, does anything happen?
no.
It's like a puzzle. You're trying to figure out how to open it. Is there a slot for batteries?
I want to. Are you guys going to search the other rooms?
Once we get to the next room.
Everybody, you guys have spent like 30 minutes here.
I'm gonna spend my time trying to figure out this medallion.
Well,
Okay.
While you guys are doing that, I'm going to take this trident down to the pond where he found the thing, the coach in it,
Uh huh.
that he couldn't see anything. I just want to see if I can see any predators in that water with the trident.
You could just scan the entire.
Is that a magic item I got to be able to use? Like, I got to be able to cast magic?
You might need to.
You have to invest in it in the morning.
Oh, so I got to wait.
I mean, you could now, assuming you don't have 10 other items, but then once you're invested in it, nobody else can use it
until I hand it to somebody.
Invest.
have to
until
make sure
they
it's
invest the
20.
following day.
Okay.
You can invest any time during your normal. Typically, it's done during your normal rest. But if you find an unclaimed item that hasn't been invested, as far as I'm concerned, you can invest immediately in it. But then it's locked to you at least for till the next morning.
Okay. Well, yeah, I will. I'll go ahead and invest in that. I'm gonna go down there and just see if it shows up. There's a predator in the water.
Okay.
I'll go down with you just in case,
Okay.
because I can turn
Okay.
into a shark.
The two of you head down there and check the swamp.
Yep.
Now's my chance to sneak up
Okay.
on them and then push them.
Ring of the ram.
You'll find if there's any underwater predators right now.
It is slightly cliff-like at the edge of the water.
My plan is working.
Okay, well, assuming there's no hijinks there, the two of you go down there, you use the staff. Either it's faulty and not working, or there is no predators in there. You do sense fish and aquatic creatures, but none of them seem to be hostile.
Alright, well, there was some creatures in there, but alright, we'll come on back then.
When I went down there,
Oh, we were
there was
afraid
just a
you were-
wagon. Everything. There was nothing in there.
A
Just
wagon.
A wagon.
The apex underwater predator.
Yes.
Right.
Alright, let's
So we got a door to this elf.
You do.
That spellcaster has all the protections on him. check out the trap. I'll
Okay.
go over there and walk it. And
Okay. Are you able to open the door and move?
I can move. Yes. Open the door. Yes.
Okay.
I open the door.
Okay. So you go ahead. I have an alternative map I can follow along with. Okay. So you head into the hallway outside. That is lined with a series of portraits hanging along the curved inner wall of the dim hallway. There are 8 portraits. They are darkened and faded with age and mildew.
And who are the portraits in?
They are all sinister, dark-featured men with hard eyes and pinched faces, all bearing a distinct family resemblance. Each portrait has a small brass nameplate. Starting from the west, there is a man in a sea captain's garb holding a spyglass in one hand and a partially rolled parchment scroll in the other. The brass plate bears the name Cassius Undiamede, Pact Forger. The final portrait at the eastern end shows a bitter-looking older man with the same pinched face but a receding hairline. He sits in a wheeled chair and has a decorative blanket across his legs. Standing behind him in a position to push the chair for him is a young man with the same features, without the bitterness. The name plate reads Claudius Undiamede and son Manus.
You said the parchment on the first thing was unrolled. Is there anything readable information?
No,
on it?
no. It's not that detailed.
Okay.
So,
Son Manus. Never heard anything about him.
I think it finally might be working again now. Okay. So, where are you guys going to go?
The room to the south, I think, was the one that was collapsed. So be careful when you open the door.
Okay. Do you want me to scout ahead?
Yeah, they're smaller.
Okay. I will enter stealth mode.
So you use the ring of the ram to hold Ben back and head forward?
No. Let's go forward. And I guess investigate the first door here.
Okay. Opening that up. That leads to...
You want me to open it?
Sure.
Okay.
That leads to the library. Portions of the ceiling and floor of the chamber have collapsed, as well as most of the eastern wall. The remnants of the wooden floor sag alarmingly. This room definitely looks to be heavily damaged. Bookshelves that still hold moldering remains of paper and parchment stand drunkenly along the wall, many of them leaning. Most of the shelves are bowed and so forth. From the looks of it, everything's been exposed to the weather for years.
Is there signs of that blood trail?
No.
Hallway stuff? No.
You will give me a outdoor survival or
Okay.
whatever.
I'll do survival because I can't think of anything else I can do.
Okay.
I got 13.
Total?
Yep.
No trails.
I have 11 skill. I rolled a 2.
Yeah.
So.
There's definitely no trails you're walking on.
Okay.
Using the magnifying glass?
I was not using the magnifying glass for that turn.
That's why you didn't get it.
Yeah. I forgot I had a magnifying glass. It's been a while. It's been like a whole year since we played. So I'll go to the next door
Okay.
and open that up and trigger all the traps.
Trigger all the traps. Okay. That one leads into a nursery. There's the rotting remains of a wooden cradle standing before a stone fireplace. A mobile formed from tiny seashells dangles above the cradle, swaying slowly in the breeze that enters through the open window.
Is there a baby in the cradle?
I don't know. Are you going to catch up to him and see and take a look for the baby in the cradle?
Yeah.
Okay. The witch comes running up to say, I heard there was a cradle. Let's see if there's a baby.
I love babies.
Which wants a baby?
The witch wants a baby.
Okay. So much for being stealthy.
Okay, yeah. No, there is no signs of any baby in the cradle.
storming back out.
Darn it.
I guess I'll let the group know that these 2 rooms are clear, and
'Kay.
they can start investigating it while I scout the next room, since we made noise now.
Yep.
I'm stealthy too.
Baby!
I'm not going in either of those rooms with the damage on the floor.
Okay. Well, the one of the western one of the 2 doesn't seem to have any damage
The
as such.
cradle room is fine.
Yeah.
Looks like it.
I already dealt with the crazy ladies and babies. And I'm not.
Okay.
Did you say the floor's damaged?
Then,
Didn't deal with them.
then depending on, then
I could explore the damaged floor areas. All I gotta do is use my sticky hands and just stick to
can
the
I open
wall.
the next door?
You can do that.
Okay. You're gonna head to the next room. Okay. So
Being quiet.
I have stealth too.
you do.
Not as stealthy as me.
Okay. The next room that runs along the central area appears to be a drawing room. There are wide windows that provide a panoramic view over the grounds of the estate. There's a grand desk of finely carved hickory sitting before the windows, along with a large chair of rotted leather. Does look to have been some water damage coming through the windows and the roof on the desk and everything.
Okay.
Meanwhile, you can hear the group moving in and starting to check the other rooms behind you.
Okay. Then I will stealth over to the desk and investigate.
Check the desk.
Yep.
Okay. Start opening up and everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything important is desks.
Sure. Okay. You start opening it up. The central drawer sticks a little bit, so you tug at it, and then finally it opens up. You slide it open. Inside, there's a bit of dust that get kicked up. The interior of the desk is covered with a fine fuzz of yellowish mold all over it. Give me a fortitude save.
It's just mold. Mold's bad, even if it's not a trap.
Just want to write character.
Couple years from when you landed.
Yeah, give me a second. Okay, I did nothing special. Oh, okay. I got a total of a 20.
A 20? Okay. You cough and choke a little bit. Feel slightly itchy, but other than that.
Okay. And he has the bubonic plague.
Just completely possible.
It's not
Could
that
I
big a
try
deal.
to identify what the fuzz is?
Yeah, give me a nature roll.
Nature. I got a 29.
29. Appears the entire desk is riddled and covered with yellow mold, which is a virulent and aggressive fungus
Okay.
that, when disturbed, sprays its spores around the area, which then burrow through skin and so forth to create more mold.
Okay.
You continue to cough a little bit.
Oh, yes. Okay. I guess I will go to the group.
Okay.
Inform them that I am infected.
Yeah, Radgar comes back. He's covered with all these yellowish green spots all over his face and arms. Most of his armor is covered with it, and here and there, it looks like there's little tendrils coming off of his skin.
Yes.
I don't know medicine, but should we pull that stuff out?
Yeah, how would you usually treat such a thing?
I don't know. If only you had somebody with medicine skill.
Yes.
Okay, I'll do medicine.
Surgery on the whole body.
You need a skin transplant.
Flay.
Let's see here.
Cauterize.
37.
Okay, so you are starting off. You're drained currently. Okay.
Drained. Yeah, drained.
Okay.
I'm already drained 3. I'm even more drained.
Um,
Yes.
Okay. You also have lost 10 hit points due to predominantly fatigue, so forth. So, what'd you roll on your first aid?
Oh, medicine was.
Medicine?
I didn't do first aid yet.
Okay.
You rolled
37
medicine.
or something.
What'd you
Well,
roll?
that was like a medicine.
Okay, what'd you get on medicine?
Medicine was 37.
37. Okay, yes. You recognize the signs of yellow mold poisoning. It is a inhaled poison. So based on the effect, it's fairly virulent. If he's already susceptible to it or affected by it, then typically kills in about 10 minutes. Give me another fortitude save.
Ah, yes.
Wand of restoration.
Whatever you can do against poison.
I'm continuing to roll terrible.
Did you roll a second time bad?
I rolled a total of a 24.
Okay. Don't forget your fortitude penalties.
Can I
Due
make
to
a,
drain.
Oh yeah. So it's a 20.
A 20?
can
Okay.
I make a nature
I'm
check
drained
to see if I
4.
know-
Yeah.
Sure. You lose another 9 points, another level of drain.
I have a vial of anti.
Don't forget drain lowers your max hit points too.
Yeah, I know. I've been reducing.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm down to like 60.
Yeah, and I mean, you guys, you get those of you that don't have medical knowledge are sort of looking at him. He's coughing every time he does. He's sort of coughing out this yellowish cloud in front of him, and where he's scratching, it's like he's scratching the skin off, and it's like greenish mixed into the blood. Little bits of fuzz growing over on him.
If I have a plus 15 in nature, would I know what's going on?
I got a 34 in my nature.
You, between the priest saying this appears to be yellow mold, yeah, you guys all have a sense.
Do I know how to
Okay.
get rid of it?
I have a vial of antitoxin.
That might work.
That would be
It's
helpful.
it's a
Yes.
poison effect.
You can have it.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
How are you going to give it to them?
I get like a
Roll it
plus
across the
1 now.
floor
I'm
and
gonna say.
is it plus one? I
think-
thought it was
I
higher
think-
than that.
No, I think
I
it
can
is.
take the-
I
I
think
can
it
have the bird
technically
drop
is a
it to
plus
you.
1. That's why.
Okay, the bird will bring it to you. She's not getting close.
I mean, it's,
She puts on the 4 uses.
The bird's just gonna drop it to you.
I'll double check.
The
You
bird
said
gets
antitoxin?
Yeah, I thought it was 4.
It might be 4.
level on it.
Yeah, it depends on the level.
What level antitoxin is it?
I have no idea. I got it so long ago.
So, anti-plague or antidote?
It just says one vial of antitoxin, is what you said.
Okay, that'd been an earlier one, a different one then. So, a lesser antidote is plus 2 against poisons.
Okay.
Okay. So go ahead and give me another roll as he quickly downs this, coughing and so forth.
plus 2.
It's getting difficult to hold on to it now.
So plus 2.
Minus
And
all the drains.
And then minus 5 because my drains.
Right.
So, I continue to roll bad. I got a 22.
22. Okay.
Ah,
You take another level of drain
yep.
and 11 more hit points.
Does anyone have to have remove poison? Like, as a base
Use the
spell.
wand of restoration on him. That'll remove one
need
level
that.
of drained at least.
I'll do wand of restoration on him.
Is that charged still? I thought you guys used those previously.
We didn't use it at the beginning of this day. We haven't. We used it yesterday.
You guys haven't rested.
Oh,
I had-
I
Yeah,
thought
we haven't
used the
rested
inn
at all.
overnight.
No.
You can also use medicine to
You guys went to the temple in the middle of the night and then woke up the whole town.
I've also got a number 5 body balm, which is disease and toxins. That you said I picked up somewhere too.
You can also use
Quick, rub this on you.
Right.
Hey, she's got anti-plague too, if you happen to have the plague. But
Drink all the potions.
that's right. She's just throwing stuff at you.
Oh. Okay, so that you said this was a
Oh, yes, my current max is 62.
A body balm that removes disease and toxins.
let me check.
Sufficiently drained.
Okay.
We're gonna have a vacation for a week.
I'll give you a assuming you're going to give that to him and you're going to start rubbing it on
Sure.
yourself. Okay, I'll give you a +4 versus toxins or diseases, but doesn't stack with anything you previously have.
What? Okay.
Okay, so give me another stat roll.
Looks like a plus 15 now.
Maths?
21.
21. Okay.
Oh my god.
Survive, my
He's really struggling from this. It must be.
You take 15 more points and drain 3.
Yep.
You still standing?
I think I technically am, but like really. Drain 7.
Medicine skill, like, treat poison.
If I used heal, could I give
Yeah,
him
treat
more hit
poison
points
does
in,
reduce the
in
stage.
return more time?
Might expose you to the poison, however,
Your top hit points, that's what
because
it's
he's
for.
he's
So
covered
if
in
you've
this
given him a
fungus
heal,
at this point.
won't help.
Well, it would slow it down because I'm taking damage
And
and
stabilize
draining.
won't
Oh, then he.
Well, the what I'm commenting about, yellow mold attacks by infecting the body, converting it rapidly to another yellow mold, and once the conversion is complete, it's just as toxic, just as dangerous as the original. Okay, so if he succumbs to this, and you're close by, then you're going to be exposed.
I mean, I have 1 hit point, so
You gotta heal some additional stuff.
heals would be helpful.
Cast heal on him.
It's up to you. It depends. The healer's gloves, yes, you have to sort of touch them. That's the whole point of the healer's gloves.
Oh,
Lean
what's
on
my
hands.
reroll? Nope, it's rush strike. We're not using that.
Bro, what?
Stay out the ball.
Okay, so what did you want to try to do?
Do
He's
good.
he's gasping and coughing, laying on the ground at this point, covered in body balm and an empty antitoxin next to him, with everybody else staying at a 15 to 20 foot distance away from you.
Oh, I got a verbal somatic healing spell that allows 30 feet.
Okay, is it memorized?
It has restoration.
Yeah, it's memorized.
Oh, shoot.
as a-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Disease.
Do it.
I
Yes.
pull out my staff of healing and I cast remove disease over it.
Okay, you cast remove disease.
And then I
You-
can cast heal to my cantrips.
okay,
If I only
heal is
brought it
not a
up,
cantrip.
Oh, well, it's... Or wait, no, it's a level 1 spell. Alright.
So you cast a level 1 heal.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, roll d8 plus 8.
I forgot. about it.
So 9.
You get 9 points from that. What do you want to do, Jenny?
I could do, my spell has a range of 30 feet, and I can increase the hit points restored by 40 plus the 5d10.
Okay, so you're going to do a level 5 heal.
Close to dying.
Go for it.
That's gonna overheal. Okay.
I should have remembered that.
Both the druid and
I
the
only brought it up several times. Druids usually have removed disease, just naturally.
both the
even have it.
both the druid and the cleric focus their power on you, the spirit of healing, and your wounds are healed. Okay, you're back up to at least full what you're at with 7 levels of drain.
Yeah.
The druid says, "Hold on a moment. I have a cure disease. Cast cure disease on you. That has no bearing whatsoever on the poison effect that you're suffering from.
Gosh.
Now give me another fortitude save."
Wow.
That's about all I can do.
Well, listen, if you
The second druid said he gives up. You're dead.
I pulled out my wand and I cast remove disease thinking it would do something, but
Well, I
no.
used my 1 heal, so...
What about restoration? I have that.
that will remove 1 level of his.
Oh, well.
Drained, yeah.
I like him. I think he
He's
might-
only at like -7 right now
I
because
think
of all
he
that
might be a
drain.
lost cause. I'm not gonna lie, guys.
I have a plus 14 still. I got a 25. That's my best roll I've gotten so far.
Okay, 3 more levels of drain and 13 more hit points.
3 more levels, like on top of it? Mm-hmm. Well, I'm unconscious then. I'm not negative gone.
Okay,
Okay.
so
If it's 3
three,
additional levels.
yes, drain
I was-
3.
Drain 3 total?
Yes.
Out of the whole disease.
No,
Okay.
3 levels of drained.
I'm dead then.
Well, you're down.
No, it kills you. I'm pretty sure you go
I don't-
to... Because I'm at negative 12 then. I would have been down already then.
I
I
don't.
thought it was a total of...
I don't believe drained kills you. I think all it does is knock you out. But I will double check.
Well, my staff did
death
it.
with mold.
Drained.
I would have been down last round then
What
because I
if I
didn't realize you
cast
said
water?
Yeah.
3 additional drain. I thought it was a total
Um,
of 3 out of the whole disease. I didn't realize it was that much. I would have been dead last round then.
Remove poison.
I don't have.
It becomes less healthy. You take a staff penalty equal to your con checks, such as fortitude. You lose a number of hit points equal to your level times the drain value. and your maximum hit points are reduced by the same amount. It does not count as taking damage. So best it's going to do is knock you unconscious, because once you reach 0, you're unconscious.
I would have been unconscious last round then.
Okay, so he collapses as you guys throw some healing on him. His body seems to be, the wounds are still, I mean, they're still killing him, but he's laying there on the ground covered in yellow fuzz from the mold.
I have no idea what to do. I think we just.
Should we put him down?
We don't have to. The mold's gonna do that for us.
Very quickly.
Stabilize, stop it.
No.
Oh.
What are you guys doing for this round?
I am. This,
Remove paralysis.
I don't have.
This is such a
Lay on
waste
hands
of
won't do
wow.
anything.
Don't touch him.
No, I know.
Don't
I know.
touch him.
Such a group. Trusted group and everything. Up, you're contaminated, you're dead.
It is the Middle Ages.
What are we supposed to do? We touch you, we die.
It's not the Dark Ages.
I'm just thinking of the Monty Python now.
What-
Bring out your dead.
You guys got anything?
Remove
Bro,
disease didn't do anything.
You got like hydro push or something, right?
Hydraulic push. You want me to
No,
spray him down with
I
water?
want you to spray him down with water. Like you can spray him. I mean, it would spray it away from us.
I guess I will cast
Maybe.
hydraulic push on the molding. Sorry,
The-
molding
Alright.
archaeologist.
Unless somebody else has something else, Jenny. I don't know.
Beam of good light.
It's not evil.
I have
It's
mad monkeys. I could have them loot his stuff
Oh,
for
yeah.
us.
No, we're not doing that.
Basically, the only thing else
I
we
will
could
cast hydraulic push to see if it'll knock the mold off.
It'll wash it off.
If I can clean him.
We
No.
had one. It was like a powder.
It's not.
Before, but it's not a powder.
You got, yeah. You guys know specifically yellow mold.
You sure the staff of heal does not have remove poison?
No. What it has, Staff of Healing Greater, is heal, restoration, remove disease, and restore senses.
You restore your senses so you can feel
And
them.
what about the lower level one? Because that's the lesser spells also.
The lesser one is stabilize and heal.
Okay.
So I could stabilize you so you can just die again. Well,
I'll pray to Pharasma. This is not his time. Please. When we roll.
Okay,
roll
so
wizard.
the
Fortitude save?
yep. The paladin is praying. You're getting doused with water, which doesn't seem to have any effect.
Threes did I get previously then?
Right.
Like round
My
wise?
prayers make a holy one.
Once you're at,
Because I was at 7 previously, assuming that was the one for previous round. So I would be at.
So you don't have to
Be
remove
at-
poison?
12.
Yeah, it would be at 12.
usually people
Yeah.
don't just walk around with
Yeah.
poison.
Yeah. Wait, what
Oh, I got a 19 that time.
about
So
all
12.
You can use medicine to treat poison.
So you're gonna touch him,
You have to touch him, yeah.
but then our cleric dies because
Yeah.
when she gets infected, how should she stop herself?
Maths.
And it takes 10 minutes, so she won't be able to heal herself afterwards. So we'll just be
So-
standing there again.
Well, I think it's like stopping bleeding. It's the same action. It's like you can stop
I got a
bleeding
29.
or stop.
29?
Yeah.
That kind of
Okay.
thing.
So you only take 2 levels of drain.
Oh.
You do improve.
Only 2.
You take 4 hit points, which is
Okay.
going to put you at -1, -2, or death level 2.
Well, I have to roll death save.
Also have to roll the death save.
I think I have tough. I passed it with toughness.
If you don't have
Okay,
any other
so that makes you wounded 1, and now you're back at you're at death 1 because of the damage from the poison. Okay, so what do you guys have? Did you guys come up with anything?
Yeah, I ain't removed anything.
I
Anything else?
would,
So 2 drain that time? Okay.
using my nature knowledge, would I think the water would help in
No.
any way?
No.
Okay, well.
If anything, you're making them a warm, moist shape. Makes
yeah,
the
probably
mold
not.
grow
What about
faster.
gust of wind? I can dry out the mold and then it'll die.
Give me a nature roll.
Okay. Oh man. Okay. 23.
23. Okay. Now you,
It was almost a 20, but
Are there more adjoining rooms?
there's rooms beyond this one where he's dying.
No, I was thinking like beside it where there's medicine. I don't know. No.
Can you see where the sport or the
Well-
mold is at on the walls
There's no mold on the walls.
or on the floor?
with cold
Well, yeah, him.
Oh.
fungus?
Could.
Like, do Do we know where he got it from?
What if we all just cast ray of
No.
frost at the same time? Then it would make the mold cold.
It would make the mold cold.
And if
Cold
the mold is
mold.
cold,
Except when you're shooting the mold, you're shooting him.
Right.
okay, well we can bring him back to life later.
So basically, we're pulling a Mr.
Nate said
Freeze
10
here.
minutes and he's gone, so
I
he
don't
can't get
think,
back to town.
I
Even if I
don't-
wanted to rush through
No.
town.
I don't think we have an option.
Apothecary.
Guys. I think the archaeologist searched his last.
Okay,
mind,
give me another roll. Fortitude.
About all you can do
So
is
the
treat
toxin
poison.
removal
which will
didn't
kill
do
one of
anything.
us
Yeah.
instead.
It didn't help him. It wasn't fast enough to help him.
I got a 25.
25? Okay, so the fortitude save failed. And give me your death save.
Just with an 18.
I know.
Basically saying dead because I'm at negative 14 now. No, I got a 3, so I failed that also.
Okay, so that puts you at -2. So then the thing gives you another 2 levels of drain and puts you at death 3. So they got one more option if they can come up with anything.
I feel like drying out the mold might do something.
Put bleach or ammonia in water.
Mustard gas the mold?
That's mustard gas.
No, the yellow mold is definitely
Fight
safe
toxins
as
with
mustard
toxins.
gas.
You guys got anything?
All I can do is pray.
I'll try gust of wind. Try and dry out
gosh.
the mold.
Okay, you
I'm
cast
backing up the minute he starts to cast dust and
It pushes everything away from us. So.
It stirs up all the mold. Okay.
I cover my
cry
face.
for my magnify glass.
He's dying.
Okay.
I cover my face with my outfit.
Right,
to
so
make
he
sure
casts a
that-
gust of wind. Anybody else have anything they want to try?
I don't know what to do. We're never prepared for poison because poison never comes up.
To you, you can be on fire, I guess. Usually, when it comes up to it's a creature that does poison all
Exactly.
the attacks. So when you cure one poison, he just poisons you again.
In this case, it's just like
I don't know. I thought the staff of heal had removed poison specifically, also.
it would make sense for it to, but not a single level of the.
You got anything, Jenny?
I've got
So
fully
you
cast
died
away
from
water.
a spicy mold.
He's not dead yet.
I've got radiant beam.
I'm only out for 2 weeks at the minimum.
Is the wand of heal doing?
That's only a
anything
couple of
with it?
days with
Do
restoration.
you have anything else?
Restoration doesn't cure it.
Would acid burn?
They-
Drain?
You're going
No,
to
it
shoot him
doesn't
with a
drain. It
laser
doesn't,
beam?
doesn't cure it.
Well,
It only cures with time.
Okay.
I'm just looking at that.
You already cast those restorations, didn't you?
Yeah, I already did the restoration.
Fire.
I mean, about all you have is stabilize, which will just make him die quicker. And yeah, that'll do it. About that and treat poison, and that's about it.
Stabilize and heal will give him give him maybe another round or two.
So gust of wind did nothing.
I'm not saying what anything's
Okay.
done.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, stabilize and heal would give him another round, and treat poison is about the only
You can
thing
discern
that
the
has to,
secrets of the mold.
get rid of it, because he pretty much can't get rid of it on his own. Because I don't know how many levels he is. Yeah, it's like 16, I think.
Yeah.
14 or 16.
Yeah.
I stopped writing it down.
Does burning the mold kill?
I had a plus 17 on my
Don't
fortitude
even try
save.
that. Then you're just gonna light.
Treat poison is a one action thing. All you got to do is run up to him and treat the poison.
That's about all you can do to
But
permanently
it would expose you to the poison.
Don't you have healer's gloves?
Yeah, but
There you go. You'll be fine. Just do it. They don't
Just
get
don't
stains
breathe?
on them. Yeah, they don't get stains.
In that case, she's gonna get
They're
hit with
pure
it.
white.
Here comes the
If,
problem.
if she runs up, she's gonna get hit with my gust of wind. But she doesn't know I'm casting it yet, so.
How are we
No,
gonna
we know
bury
you're
him
casting
when
something.
he's dead?
stabilize them.
You
Or
can charm
treat
the
his
mold and
poison.
ask it to go
That's
away.
about all you can do. Stabilize him will just give him another
Seduce
round.
the mold.
Yeah.
Treat poison might actually is the only way to
6
actually.
levels.
I mean, you could do a spell speak to fungus.
No, I don't think
Summon planted fungus.
Disarm fungus.
Please, Mr. Mold,
Summon-
leave my friend
I
alone.
get 3.
It is a
Stop.
spell.
But I get 6.
I use dominate fungus and tell it to go away.
It is a spell.
Fungus. Understand.
So what do you want to try to do?
We only have 2 druids in the group.
Okay. So you cast gust of wind. It blows away. It blows over him. You see a big cloud of dust moving around the room. You do stabilize, which puts you back at 0, and wounded 2 now.
Wouldn't have. I think it would only be wounded 1. It's damaged simultaneously, so I would have been.
No, it's order of operation. You stabilize first, and then it did damage to you. You stabilize on your turn, and then you make your saves. So you're at wounded 2 now, but at 0. Okay, so you're stable. And then give me a fortitude save.
I got a natural 20 right there. So
It dies.
What's your total penalty?
I think it's 16.
Oh, God.
So I got a total of a 25 with a natural 20 right there.
Even with the penalties?
Yep.
Okay, so that's a fail, so it makes it a success. So you slightly recover. You do still take damage and 1 more level of drain.
Yes.
So that puts you at death 3. So
Only
he's-
bonuses I got is
he's-
that bulb.
He's just barely trying to hang on. What are you guys going to do?
Ben, you have stabilized. Is it cantrip?
He can, but if you stabilize him again, he goes to 0, wounded 3. As soon as he takes damage, he goes to death 4.
You don't have that idea.
I have no idea.
And we got Adrenal Reprode.
So if I cast Stone Skin on him, right? Would the
Turn me permanently to stone.
well,
And dead? Because it takes time to turn you to stone.
It's stone skin. That's a defensive spell.
Stone skin.
no.
Oh.
If I cast Stone Skin,
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying
right,
flesh to
his
stone.
skin will turn to stone. So will the mold want to stay attached?
He doesn't turn his
As
skin
a
to stone.
druid, is there anything that eats that mold? Like you could turn it.
He's
into-
unaware. He already checked that.
Oh.
I haven't done a knowledge nature check on it yet.
Okay.
I
That
could
might be
probably do that.
important since there's 2
I
druids
haven't
over
rolled
here.
above a 7 this
Straight up
entire
And we're
game.
fighting bold.
I'm using one
It's
of
like
these
druids
dice.
would be helpful in
Every
this
time
game.
I
Flame strike will burn it.
It would.
Let's see.
No, I don't have that.
I got a
It's too useful.
25.
Okay. No, you don't know any other way to deal with it.
Flame strike.
The mold is beyond your level of knowledge.
This is what tells the group mold.
Treat poison. I only have 1 stage left. Just treat poison, it'll be fine.
You don't have Juggernaut, do you?
No, I get that high level. I'm making sure I
I mean, he's got 1 round left. We've used water. We've used
Yeah,
Air.
Juggernaut's
And-
level 11.
burn. Yeah, burn him.
Yes.
And I mean, what's the word? Burn
Can I-
him, and then
Can I make a
Fireball him.
I mean,
What's the worst happen? He dies.
If he dies, he's cremated and therefore put to
well, I'm just
rest.
trying to think like.
Can I use
some way-
herbalism to see if there's an herb that specifically targets yellow mold?
You have herbalism?
It's a lore I have, yeah.
Sure.
Even if you roll it, we don't have any herbs.
Well, he
No.
can turn into a
That's
plant.
a
I
line
don't
of
know.
good.
He
He
turns
can't. He can't be a
29.
fleshy. He's a
29?
Mold
Sure. There's some herbs. You don't have any. You're not sure where anybody would be, but yes, there are some herbs that are said to treat it.
Can I use acrobatics to do an interpretive dance to make
Does
the
he-
mold go away?
Guys, I still have to
So
touch
he's
it.
done something. Carter's done something. Anybody else want to do anything?
I don't have anything else.
Okay.
No.
You
I
guys
don't have medicine to use on
You guys could
him.
try to burn him. I mean,
I have a +4.
he's got another death level left, so.
Yeah, basically.
Action and it cures it.
Basically, all you have is
Yes,
tree
but
poison.
then
I
one
have
of us gets
burning
infected.
hands.
have clubs.
It's a breathing thing, not a
Doesn't
touch.
do a
Hold your
whole lot of
breath
damage, which might.
Then you suffocate.
He's already negative. So.
After 12 rounds.
But it can go in through your eyes.
I'm gonna.
Then close your
You
eyes.
know, we haven't tried burning him yet. I'll cast Scorching Ray on him.
Scorching ray does too much damage.
Yeah, she's.
I got burning hands.
1 point kills me.
Oh,
Basically, you got it. Your only option is tree poison, pretty much.
if you're willing to go up and touch him, I mean that's.
And
You have
then-
treat poison?
Everybody with medicine has treat poison.
Well, my thing is,
But
if
you
you
gotta
go
touch
and
the
do
tree
that,
poison.
Oh.
You got to touch the infected.
if you go and do that, you get infected. He runs
My
back
bird
over
learn
to
it
us,
real
No,
quick?
no. Your bird cannot do first aid on him.
and then you just die.
Bird stones.
Sorry, George.
Oh, yeah.
I'm praying. I'm still
Hey,
praying.
you're the one who left the group all by yourself.
No, no. We did what we had.
You You could have said no. Okay.
Well, at least make it so we can touch the corpse if we burn it. Like
No, I'm not.
Why would you want to touch the corpse with a mold?
How are we gonna lay the corpse to rest according to his religion if we can't touch it?
We
I don't
won't.
know his religion.
He's an archaeologist.
Oh,
He
no,
has
I
no
was just
religion.
talking about like, because I know Pharasma gets mad at you when we
Jimmy,
don't
do you
lay
have
down.
reach?
All archaeologists are
Can
atheists.
you use
It's a known fact. We have
Reach with a
heard-
touch spell. If you have reach, sure.
Do you have reach?
It's not a spell.
It's not a spell, it's
a
medicine.
first aid. It's just
It's a medicine.
Reach
Yeah,
spell on a
you can't
medicine.
use reach with a band-aid.
Fly, Band-Aid.
What if I cast Stormwind Flight on you? Then you can fly. And
She still
so,
has to
Still-
touch him.
hold on. But when you cast Stormwind Flight, you walk on the air, right? So if you're on top of the air can't get into your body. So the air won't affect you. So you can just touch him with a glove. The air's underneath you, and then you walk away on the air.
Okay, so what would you like to do, if anything?
You're too valuable to get infected. You're like our big healer.
You're not that valuable to get infected.
I'm saying he can't do healing.
Okay.
I'm
You're
saying it's
expendable.
Yep,
That's
that's right.
what I was thinking too. It's like he's infected. I'm doing nothing.
I've been
They're trying.
expanded
A few of them are.
multiple times.
Anything?
I'd have to touch them, but then I would die.
Yeah.
So I think our one option
Well, then you can
is
treat poison on yourself afterwards.
You gonna do anything, or let him see if he can fight it off? He has one more. He has one more save to make.
Well, then what are you gonna do
One more
then?
save,
He's gonna
is
be at
that-
the same.
He gets one more save before the poison takes its next effect.
He
But what's
failed
gonna
rolling a
happen if he
natural
passes
20.
this
The
one
only
more
reason
save,
rolled
then
a
he gets
natural
one more
20
save?
Maybe.
The only reason he went up is because it was a natural 20. He would have. He can't. He can only. He can only.
My
Do
point
you
is,
have
he's not
medicine,
gonna
Craig?
recover himself,
I'm dead.
right?
He's
Oh,
dead.
wow.
Yeah. I did have medicine though.
I say someone else who has medicine should go do it.
Do you have natural medicine, Carter?
I do not. Or else I already would have already done it.
Okay.
The one that doesn't expect poison.
So I guess I need your last fortitude save.
Okay. That's a 16. That's gonna be a fail. So here you go.
Okay.
That's a 1.
That one won't help. Okay.
There you go.
With a last gasp, his body goes still. What would the rest of you like to do?
Know what we could have done to save him?
I want to try to figure out, without touching him or anything, I want to figure out where the heck the mold came from that he got in the first place so we can avoid it.
Okay.
Oh, I'm not going in the room that he was in.
I think we should leave.
Yeah. This is too dangerous. Something we can't go back into town
This is literally Vinebrook Homes.
to buy more.
So we should
So
re-
how-
Zero way.
Options.
There's not a way for me to contact the lady in town that's not a member of the town. Like she's new to the area too. That half elf.
So we need to go to a different town and reorganize and re-evaluate.
3 weeks away.
We don't have any. I mean, we don't have any
Go to
choice
another
but to
town to make a
go
couple sleds per
the other
station.
way, away from this. We can't. We're not gonna be digging through any more of these rooms. We can't lose anybody else.
Or we just take precautionary measures when we do it.
I think the risk's too high if we don't have means of protection.
So we rest
That's what happens
then
when I
come
get a
back
magic item. I die.
with a lot of
That's why I never get magic items.
remove poison spells.
That's why I'm saying we need to get out of here and go somewhere else. And
Keith, give me a perception check.
We can't go anywhere else because the only path is back through town, and we cannot go through town.
Like they said, they can't arrest us.
they can't manage to arrest.
They
31.
can't, but
You see
we
George's
aren't
hands
able to-
twitch.
We can non-lethally resist.
It's
He's
gonna,
still
it's
alive.
no, he's not alive. This thing infects the brain and it takes over and it starts moving. We gotta go. It's gonna start coming after us and it's gonna take over his body. I'm going out.
Man, you shared that information real fast.
Whoops, never mind. Yep.
That's amazing. You just like telepathically communicated with everybody.
Yep.
That's right. Okay, so what are you guys gonna do?
Leave. I'm out. I'm running out.
Honestly,
I'm a
that
little
makes
dwarven
sense.
boy.
Usually when the body dies, the body does still
I'm
twitch.
letting
and
everything.
stuff.
I'm going to cast Scorching Ray on it. I'm gonna burn it.
No.
You didn't even see what
That
happened.
That ain't
He
gonna
didn't
do
share his
Yeah.
He
information.
just said
I'm gonna make
No, he
sure.
didn't.
You didn't even see what happened. You don't even
Yeah,
know what's
keep-
going
Just
on.
said
Oh,
he didn't
okay.
share the
Okay.
information.
Yeah.
All right, I'm
It was
going.
after he was like zombie head.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast Scorching Ray. Make sure this body stays down.
You have no reason to do that.
Yeah, I'm backing away.
You don't even know that information. I shouldn't have
Exactly.
said what I
No,
said.
no. Keith said he shared it.
Well, yeah,
That
but
way-
we
Right,
don't
but
know
he
it's gonna get up and move.
might
I
just like
shouldn't
George
have
is
said
coming-
that.
Well, you're perfectly fine making that conclusion at that point. None of you have any knowledge from a character standpoint other than what you as a player come up with.
Okay, well that's my conclusion.
All right, well let's just go.
Well,
I told Andy.
if he's
Okay.
moving, if he's moving,
Yeah,
is it
you see,
possible for us to save him? Like
you,
I
take
could
you
put-
take a look at it. His hand is twitching a little bit. His left foot is twitching a little bit. His head rolls over to the other side.
Does it look like he's conscious when his head rolled over, like his eyes, like he's seeing?
It looks more like convulsions.
Gotcha. I'm gonna raise my shield and start moving everybody back.
Okay.
Keep going.
You start to move back. He sits up. Sort of looks at you with dead yellow eyes. Opens his mouth and exhales this a yellowish cloud or whatever, and then slowly staggers up to his feet.
Can I use Disrupt Undead?
Can't say that I'm running.
It's about 20 feet away from you. The druid takes off.
Yep. I'm pushing everybody back.
Okay.
If you decide to stay and try to cast spells out of that, you go to it, but I'm gone. I'm not.
Yeah, it stands up rather shakily, and then sort of staggers a couple of feet towards you.
All right. Before I start running, I'm going to cast Disrupt Undead because I don't know what this is, and from my point of view, I just saw him stagger back alive. I think it's undead.
Okay.
So
Yes,
see.
disrupt undead.
Yep, is a 30 feet. I'm targeting him.
Gotta be careful. This is a sneaky fungus with a ring of a ram.
It does.
Hey.
Forward to its own breath.
So
Okay.
And the magnified
So you
glass
cast it. You
and
cast
the
disrupt
glass.
undead. Doesn't seem to have any effect on it, as it shambles slowly towards you.
I'm running.
Okay. You take off too. Anybody sticking around, or everybody taking off? It doesn't seem to move fast, so you guys get distance on it fairly quickly.
Let's go down to the table room.
I'm just leaving the building.
Right. Druid runs outside.
He's gone. That isn't him anymore.
We've got nowhere to go. We can't go back towards the town.
Honestly, I.
If we go through the.
Let's burn this building.
Well,
You know,
go-
we
go
can
through the portal.
non-lethally resist arrest, right?
I don't think I have to
Go
go back.
through the portal that's in this.
I don't think
in
I
this
did.
building.
What?
The gag
Back
thing
into
that was
the-
there. I don't think I
Underground.
I didn't write it down.
The thing's gonna walk around and infect the entire place. This,
But we'll already be in the portal. That's what I'm saying. We don't. So we don't come back here. Fine.
So where are you guys going? He ran outside.
I'm following everybody because I'm behind, except for him. I'm behind
Right.
everybody
He's
else.
trailing behind you about a round or so. You guys go running down to where the table is. He immediately runs out the door. Upstairs, you see you hear him cast a spell. You see a flash of light, and then you see him running. He says, "Not undead," and runs down towards you. Upstairs, you see the creature reach the top door. It seems to be following you. It's going significantly slower. I mean, it's shambling maybe 5 or 10 feet around. But it does seem to be sort of getting its bearing.
Yeah. Moving. He was fast in life. He's gonna be fast in death. Let's go.
Where are you going?
Going. We
Now
gotta
you're
go.
gonna nuke it.
Does the road go past the town or through
Yes,
the town?
through the town.
Through the town? Well, we're just gonna go through town. We're not gonna stop.
Yeah. We
Okay.
can non-lethally resist arrest.
Can you?
I
You're a bad character. I'm just messing with you, dude. No,
Yeah.
you're absolutely right.
I can knock them unconscious.
Are you really capable of that?
We can honestly run, and we are.
I'll transform into a Tyrannosaurus and charge through, clearing the path.
That's
No,
so
you want
That's
unnecessarily
non-lethally?
violent.
That is
You're gonna crush people with your feet? That's not non-lethal. That's crippling.
They won't try to stop us if a
Path-
T-Rex goes running through.
I don't think they're gonna stop us running through anyway. We're not slowing down. We're
Alright.
booking right through
So
town.
just book it.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys go running back towards town?
Yep.
Okay.
And don't stop in town.
What?
Make a new
Keep going.
character now.
No, that is your new character. You're gonna hunt us.
I would take the Fey influence with that because I think that is a thing. But
Well, admittedly, that's the first time in a very long time I've killed anybody with poison.
And yeah.
We never have poison, so I don't prepare
That's-
anything anti-poison.
And
the issue.
and
Well,
that's
and-
why
And
it's deadly.
Usually not spreadable poison. That's the hard part about it. It's actually,
Yeah, it's
If it was just you got stung by a scorpion, we could treat poison. She could treat it.
right. You're not in danger of being affected.
Right. Cool.
Yeah, that was remarkably effective.
And also, you were drained before.
I
so-
was already drained 4 previously,
I'm wondering what-
so I was already negative 4 on everything.
You had a drawback there, but still.
Well, we lost our lead, now what?
No, well, we can still go the other way into
All the
the
bear
underground.
traps gone. That's
Along
the
the
issue.
caves, not
That's the
the-
issue. You're gonna run into a dungeon. You're gonna see 12 silver bear traps.
Hold it. Here.
Silver traps are okay.
Yellow tinted silver bear traps.
Right. Every time we wake up, it's just,
Mortar. No.
yeah, straight through town. To see if we can
Silver arrow.
get to where the I think we should.
Hey, hey, hey.
If we stick
Did the submarine guy have a shack or something?
Yes, he had a house, southern side of town.
I think he was in town. I bet?
He had a workshop in the southern side of town. He had given you the address of. So if your intent is to run to his workshop, you could probably get there while the town is reacting to the fact you guys are back. If your plan is to head north out of town, you could probably do that while the town is reacting to you getting in town.
If we go just to his house, guys, it's gonna be a problem. I think we need to.
We would have to lose them off our tail first and go into hiding inside there.
Yeah, but they would. It's a small town. They're gonna see what
We should just retire.
No, it's just. We should just go through town.
That's
We'll go
my
to the
vote.
north. Yeah.
You don't get a vote. You die to mold.
I know.
He's killed so many people.
So you guys are going to go through town and head north towards the dock.
If we use like an invisibility spear,
Oh, that's right. You
put
could.
us in a invisibility sphere, go through town.
If you can
Yeah.
stealth through, that gives you a lot more options.
Should we stealth to his house or should we stealth through town?
And I think
guys?
you have extend, so I don't know how long it lasts normally, but 10 minutes. Yeah, because it's an exploration
10 minutes.
visibility.
See what's sad is the archaeologist died from archaeology traps.
I know.
I could transform into a creature
So does that mean
disguised
someone
that way.
purposely put it?
Well, if he's got global invisibility. You don't need to.
So
We
you
can-
got overconfident and
we've
stopped
used that
searching for
before,
traps.
Or he's used that before and got us to
Well, it's
the
not even a
werewolf
trap.
tower, so
It was fungus.
that worked well.
Someone could have
Druids didn't have the right spells. They weren't doing their job.
Oh, it's the druid's fault.
Yeah.
So you want
Okay.
to do like an
There are
I'm
some
a
spells
combat
druids need to
Yeah.
do all the time.
I
Always
got-
have this spell.
Always have
Druids fail.
remove poison.
Because we have 2 druids.
I'm a combat druid. I
There we go.
specialize in turning into
All
creatures
druids.
that kill
If
people.
you're so good at playing a druid, you should have picked to play a druid.
That's right. You should play a druid too. Then we'll have 3:
Yeah,
Yeah.
3 druids.
a storm druid, a dino druid, and an anti-poison druid.
Yeah, there you go.
So Keith,
Everything
you said
covered.
You've got that,
All the nature.
and it lasts
The group
10
slowly
minutes.
turns into a conclave of druids.
So if we now we gotta figure out where we want
10
to go.
foot
Emanation.
emanation. Yeah.
So that'll cover us all. 10-foot emanation. We can all.
Yes, as long as you guys stick together.
Right.
Your own
6 of
druidic
us.
order.
So do we go to the question now is do we go to the house of the submarine guy or do we go beyond town because we have nowhere else to go?
I could go to the submarine.
Welcome to my world.
Yeah, maybe he's got answers
I have
what
a
some of
bill
this
picker.
stuff is.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
He could
If
also
he has-
rat us out.
Fly.
Because he has been to the bottom of the lake. I mean,
We
that was,
helped him if he rats
Yeah.
us out.
I mean, we're no worse. If he rats us out, we're no worse off than being in the town as it was,
Right.
regardless. And
We'll just
So-
make a run for it.
so yeah, let's go to his. Let's get invisible and go to his place.
Okay, so the 6 of you are going to go there.
Yep. We should overthrow the
Five,
town.
yeah. Yeah, 6.
I'm assuming Doge is with you quietly,
Well,
but
she's
Yeah.
there too. So it's, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's go to
okay. Horace's house.
Horace's house. Yeah.
Okay. Oh man.
Didn't even go to retrieve the magnifying glass.
I know. I know.
I lost a very important piece of equipment.
You guys left the magnifying glass.
Magnifying glass, the pickled garlic.
Okay, so
No, the pickled garlic got petrified.
No.
petrified pickled garlic.
Oh, okay.
So, and your question about stone to flesh, it would have only converted part of your body, the part that was still flesh.
The flesh to stone, you mean?
Yeah, flesh to stone.
Yeah. Well, we would slowly do it.
Well, granted.
Over time. And it's
Well,
a fortitude save.
So it'd be pretty quick.
Yeah.
You'd still be, you'd be just as dead.
Carter's
Well,
right.
I mean, I
So
guess
you
you
could
could have
mo-
technically done that, and then rested a day to then to have the spell remove petrification and remove poison, and did it that way. I guess you could have technically done it that way.
We
Or
also
you would
don't
be-
have stone
As,
flash.
or-
That's
put it
level
in as
6.
put it as a status, but yeah.
They don't have
Or
that
you would
spell.
have put
Yeah.
been a moldy stone.
Yeah.
Got moldy stone.
Carter says stone to flesh is his favorite spell to cast. Like he just casts it on altars. Just a big pile of body parts.
You see a cave. Stone to flesh.
Oh, that's so gross.
It is, but it's surprisingly really useful.
Okay, so when you go back to town, Horace's house is the one down here in the south.
I might just play a druid now.
Doge's
Okay.
official reaction.
You use an invisibility sphere, and we still have one memorized. Still have one memorized? Okay. So use invisibility. Okay. Working together, you guys move cautiously through the town. There's people walking around here and there. They don't seem to notice a bunch of invisible people. Whether you make noise or not, doesn't. It just blends into the sounds of the town. So there's no patrols or anything like that. It's not that kind of a town. You get over to Horace's town. It's at the outskirts on the southern side. There's nobody around. It looks like a big barn / workshop. Pair of large barred doors on one side. That looks like the only entrance into it.
Are they open?
It's the doors? No.
Okay. I'm gonna see if the door is unlocked.
It does not appear to be.
Do we knock?
Invisible knocks. South side of town, there's nobody behind him. Is there any windows on the barn? No.
No. It's a barn.
All right, I'm gonna knock on the barn door.
Okay. You bang on the barn door. You hear a clang from inside. Somebody grumbling a bit. Walks over to the door. Moves a bar out of the way. Opens up the first door. Looks out.
We all rush in.
Okay. You quickly push past him with a bunch of shock and surprise. You guys go inside. He picks up a wrench and says, "Who's there? What are you guys doing?"
I step outside of the global visibility.
Okay.
I said it's us.
Oh,
We're waiting.
you guys.
Yes.
What are you guys doing?
Uh,
Why are you invisible?
well, because the town isn't too happy with us right now because they think that we killed some priests or whatnot over. At the
Did you?
temple. No, absolutely not. We found bodies.
Okay. Well, this town tends to get upset about things like that.
So we need a place to rest and recover. Are you willing to provide us some sanctuary?
Sure. Town doesn't really bother me much, other than those kids always knocking on my door, disturbing my work.
Gotcha. Yeah, well, apologize for that and apologize for being invisible.
Okay. Yeah, you guys are welcome to hang out here. Not a problem. Excuse the mess. You look around. It's a complete disaster of a workshop. There's bits and pieces all around. Like he has a couple of dozen different projects that he started and then wandered off to the next one. But there's machines and tools and pieces of metal and things like that, most of which you guys have no idea what to make of them. Maps and drawings and pictures and diagrams and all sorts of stuff. Over on the side, he has a little cooking stove cooking something on some sort of food or whatever, and some leftover plates and dishes and meals and so forth on one of his tables. He says, "Yeah, come on in, come on in." He closes up the door, puts the bar back in. Weren't there more of you?
There were. This has been a very harrowing experience.
The town didn't get him, did they?
No, the town didn't.
A mysterious ball of sun, and then
A ball of sun?
You told us about the people, the neighbors.
The town's farthest.
The neighbors?
Yeah, the neighbors you had heard were underneath the water.
Yeah?
But they're real. You're right.
No,
Oh, yeah,
can't be.
You're right. They are real. As a matter of fact,
I thought so. He goes over to his paper, starts flipping through. Yeah, I've been studying for years. I knew they were real. Have you seen them?
Yes.
they're called scum.
Well, that's not very nice.
No, that's
They call themselves that. They're frog people.
But there's only males, and we found that the church here has been sacrificing the baby girls to be bred with these fish people because they don't have any females left in their
Well,
bloodline.
that's just evil.
I agree. So we wanted to stop it, and we. I have another thing I need to ask you to do, if you wouldn't mind. If you wouldn't mind going over to the apothecary shop, the half elf, and ask her to come here. We can't obviously traverse the town safely currently.
Okay.
But I need to ask her some questions and see if I can
Okay.
purchase some other parts of her wares.
Yeah, I can go talk to her. Why don't you guys just rest here, get some sleep, help yourself to some of the food. I think it's still good. I don't know. It's been cooking for a few hours. I guess otherwise stay here, get rested, and so forth, and then we'll figure out what your next action is.
Thank you.
And so,
we're just gonna lie low in his place.
I'll be back in a short bit, I guess.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
This group is not named our spellcaster.
He goes out, closes the barn door behind him. He suggests that you guys lock it or bar it at least. You hear him wandering off into the town, muttering under his breath.
I barred the door.
Okay. What are you guys going to do?
I want to look at some of the weird inventions or prototypes that he has.
He has all sorts of metal pipes, tubes, machines, and things like that, most of which make no sense to you whatsoever. Seems to be some sort of steam-powered thing or multiple things. Eat and clean the dishes for him? Okay. The food that's cooking on the little campfire is pretty burnt at this point. It was some sort of eggs and sausage, and now it's more like charcoal and briquettes. But you find some food and clean up the place, tidy it up a little bit. The rest of you get some rest. After maybe 45 minutes or so, there's a soft knock at the door.
Let's slide it open.
Okay. Horace and the herbalist are there. They step inside real quick. Actually, they pause for a moment. They look over their shoulders both ways, which outside the door is basically just the bay. But they check over their shoulder, make sure they're not being followed, and then they step in. Close the door up behind him. Horace immediately looks completely shocked, surprised, and aghast at the fact that his workshop has been organized. And now he has no idea where everything is, and immediately starts like rummaging around, complaining about how no, this goes over here, and starts making different piles and everything. The herbalist is, so I gather you guys have a bit of problem. What can I do to help you?
So I have the druid here explain the yellow mold situation to her, and see if she has anything for it, and if there's anything that can cure a person who's been relatively affected and afflicted and killed by it.
Okay.
What he said.
There you go.
Some sort of yellowish mold? Were you able to identify it?
Kill.
It was yellow mold. Well, it was yellow deeper mold, I'd assume.
Were there vines?
Were there vines?
No, it's
I like how the druid.
I don't know why the druid's asking the champion.
You told me, you're the one talking. I mean,
right, because I don't know what it was.
I don't know what it was. I failed my check. I got a 2.
I
He was
identified
coughing
it.
up yellow stuff.
The cleric identified it, and I identified it. But
Well, and I remember he reanimated like he was undead, but he was not undead.
Do you know of a mold that
I-
is yellow?
Well, yeah. There's a virulent strain known as yellow mold. Creepers would be more of a jungle-based thing. Those are vines that are infected with yellow mold and like grow and reach out to get victims to propagate and grow. Yellow mold itself is just a poison, common in dark, damp areas. Do you guys use sunlight or heat?
Oh my god.
And you said no to the scorching ray.
No. Well, scorching ray would have killed him.
Oh.
Not just burn him.
Well, yeah. Yellow mold. If you encounter it, hit it with heat, or expose it in sunlight. That dries it up and kills it almost immediately.
So my drying it up theory wasn't necessarily wrong. I just used wind.
Right, wrong problem.
Yeah, no. Wind just spreads it faster.
Oh dang. Well, that sucks.
So
No,
once
blows.
the person-
Blows which way?
Is there any way to cure
So
someone who's already
once
been
they've
killed?
succumbed to the mold, is there any way to
Um,
bring them back?
well, did you cremate the body?
No.
And
Well, if your friend died to the yellow mold, then yeah, it's just going to be another breeding ground for more yellow mold.
He still showed some movement when we were.
Well, yeah,
He
it
was
te- it te-
chasing
it
us.
tends to infect the brain and will reanimate itself. It's how the yellow mold spreads, similar to a tree's seed pod, where it throws it out with like those little propeller things, and the wind carries it somewhere. In this case, it infects a creature, and then the creature's body reanimates, moves for a bit before it fully gives in, at which point now it's spread to another location. So I doubt it got very far, but there's probably another infestation somewhere.
But he's definitely dead. That's not.
Oh yeah, there's no coming back from that.
Okay.
At least not with some powerful divine magic. There's not much I can do about that.
Is there? While I understand the sunlight, that makes total sense, or fire. If someone is infected, do you have anything that can treat that specifically? If a potion or
Herbs.
Well, I could whip
You
up
did.
some antitoxins.
I think we use antibiotics.
Yep.
You used a lesser level one, yes.
lesser, and then you get the higher level one afterwards.
She probably has something more potent.
We need a really strong one.
Well, I feel like we should probably have a couple of those on hand for now.
Yeah, she used
One
what
for
the
each
greater.
party member. So if you
You effectively used a. Yeah, level 10 is a +4 bonus against poisons. So effectively you used a greater antidote with the balm.
We could rest and then I can just take a whole bunch.
Now
of
the main difference is the salve that you used gives you +4 versus poison and disease, but it's a apply after infected sort of thing. The antidote you drink and it's good for 6 hours.
Oh, it gives you like.
It gives you it boosts your immunity. So she says, yeah, I don't know if I have the materials for the greater antidotes, but I can give you some moderate. I can get some moderate ones for you.
Okay.
It'll take a little bit of time at my shop. I think I got the herbs for a couple of them at least.
Okay. I'll explain to her that the town is unhappy with us as well.
Yeah, there's been talk around town.
So, if
There's all sorts of people over at the church trying to repair it and clean it up and so forth. They do not seem very happy with you.
yeah, they are.
Something about chopping off heads.
Now there was bodies missing heads, and now we've actually found another one out at the
Great idea.
another one out at the founder's home.
I was wondering where you got that trident from.
Yeah, it's a the priest's head. It looked like it kind of pulled itself apart. and something moved out from it. You heard any type of infection that?
No.
Okay, that's not the yellow mold.
No, that's not yellow mold.
Okay, well.
I was half expecting. I start the twitch and then the head releases.
That's what I was thinking too.
The head rolls towards you, chomping.
Fly head.
Sorry. My foot.
Okay.
And that's not an antidote. That's for
Dog's
toxins,
coming now.
right?
She can give you an antidote, which is a 6-hour poison save bonus. She doesn't have a limitless supply, but she's willing to give you a couple of them if she has a few hours back at her shop.
Okay.
Okay.
If you wouldn't mind
In the meantime, what's your guys' plan at this point?
I'm going to talk with Horace and try to convince him to. I feel like we should explore the deep water. If these creatures are,
Yo,
I guess we can come back. We can go back in where we came in.
I mean, the mention of exploring the water gets Horace all excited.
No.
He is thrilled with that idea. He has been looking for somebody to drive his subaqueous exploration machine for weeks, and none of these hicks in town have any concept of it. So he can control it, but he can't go in the thing at the same time. So if you guys want to explore the lake, he is more than willing to do that. He just needs to know where you guys want to explore. I mean, it's a big lake, or a big bay, and it opens up into the ocean. He's more than willing to send you guys under the water. It should work, but I don't know how long you guys have. We can't explore the entire lake. I've been doing experiments here and studying it for years.
Well, they said that the scum have a civilization down at the bottom of the lake.
Okay.
So, and we came, where we came, I explained to him where we came out of.
Yeah.
That area. If
Uh-huh.
that is.
He says that sounds like the coastline just to the south of here.
Yeah. Is that?
Nothing unusual about that. I mean, the water there is not very deep.
Well, this fancy trident that I have
Uh-huh.
helps find predators in the deep.
That I
Scum
guess
will
that
feed
might
the
be helpful.
predators.
There are sharks and other predators.
But I guess the scum aren't considered predators.
So, I mean, do you guys have any idea where we might start searching?
Probably close to where they described their civilization.
So the thing is susceptible. The mold is susceptible to light. Does it have to be like magical light or natural light?
Sunlight.
Okay, sunlight specifically. So a light spell wouldn't count.
Correct.
Okay. Would searing light?
That's the sun ray.
Searing light would, because it's fire
Okay.
and holy. A daylight spell would work
Okay.
because that's specifically sunlight.
Yeah, I've been trying to find daylight. I'm not
It
sure.
might not
What
might
about
not
a
exist.
sun rod?
Sun rod is just a flare. It's just named that.
I had several sun rods.
Yeah.
Is it dark?
According to the herbalist, the proper approach when you see yellow mold is to burn it. That vaporizes it pretty quickly. It also can't survive in straight sunlight.
The abyssal sea is like different dimension.
Correct.
Okay.
That's the ocean that fills the abyss.
So Ishar is not.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a great place to go look.
No, don't want to go in there.
February might not work there too.
Correct.
So the tunnels are near Avalon Bay.
Avalon Bay is the bay that you guys are at.
Gotcha.
So let me get the regional map for you. So here's Ustalov. Admittedly doesn't help you much. Doesn't give a whole lot of details here. But, I mean, each of these are 20, 30 mile hexes. the bay, yeah, it would take you a lifetime to search the entire thing. You guys need to have some sense of where you want to search within it.
If it's at the bottom of the bay,
There's lots of bottom.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
maybe dead center.
Horace, do you know?
Well, start about where the cave is and work.
Cave's on the shore south of town.
I'd say start there and work deeper.
Did you hear if they happen to found the mayor?
The-
Ask
The mayor, no. I haven't seen the mayor in a couple of days. Healer confirms that. Horace wouldn't see most people in the town. He's always at his workshop, but the healer says yes. Yeah, the mayor's been gone for a day or two. He supposedly, after you guys checked in originally, he was heading home. We talked to a couple of locals. All reports are he never made it home, and hasn't been seen since.
So Thrushmore is on the base also, correct?
Thrushmore's on the northern edge of the Avalon Bay. That was about a week's travel away.
Okay. Trying to think of a place we can find information that.
Burned Hill.
We never finished exploring the top level of the mansion, did we?
No.
Nope. You searched
No.
one room.
Everybody ran
Yeah.
away.
People died. People died. It was bad.
We have a problem with people dying.
Now that we know how to kill the mold, he did have a lot of stuff on him.
I did.
And you can get that back because we do have a lot. We can memorize our remove poisons
Yeah.
and get the antitoxins and probably go there and get his stuff and finish exploring that because we might find some more clues because we really didn't explore that much in there except for the room where the priest's body was.
Yeah.
But I think if we do some preparations, we can go back and explore that area. Or unless we want to wait until we remove all our drained.
Well, I mean,
Because how drained are people? Like drain free?
I'm drained 3 because she'd used the restoration on me that morning.
According to the healer, the town is all worked up right now. Being found out by the town would be bad.
Yeah.
Not that the town would necessarily be able to truly capture you, but her biggest concern, honestly, is you guys would probably kill most of the town.
Right. We don't want to do that.
Yeah, you guys probably, at least you shouldn't, want to do that. Now, it'll take a couple of weeks before they calm down such, and any sign of you guys is just going to rile them up again. Because according to most of the people on the streets, they're blaming you guys for killing the priests. Okay? So you guys are effectively wanted by them.
Because we did kill priests,
You did kill priests,
and then priests ended up dead.
and I mean, they have a report from one priest that went back to town about how you guys attacked them all. And then all these priests are turning up dead with their head cut off. I mean, there's an awful lot of information pointing to you guys as the culprits.
It's like
Now,
a cat that happens to walk near a dead bird.
you guys all say I didn't do it,
Right.
but that only holds up so well in the law. That being said, according to Horace, the town functionally thinks he's a crackpot. They leave him alone. Nobody ever comes over to his place unless there's a specific need or whatever. He goes into town and they deal with him, but he's an outsider just like the herbalist is. Both of them understand the situation at this point. They'll help you out as much as they can. As long as you don't bring any pain back to them, you're welcome to hide out here at the workshop as long as you need.
And he could memorize global visibility twice in a day?
Well,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
He's a
he can do it
sorcerer.
Up to 4 times.
He's a sorcerer.
I'm saying we could travel back and forth to that area over there without being unseen and without causing Horace any grief as well. Maybe we can find out where we need to go.
But you could always rest, recover a drain level,
Fits with the story.
and then you could
Is
go
there a
back
class that fits with it?
and
Fits with the story.
get his stuff
Archaeologist.
back before the mold gets any worse.
Yeah.
And
Could always
have
do
another
investigator.
level of drain gone, and then have all the preparations. Get
I was trying to see
get
what
rid
the
of the
thought
mold
process
and
is.
explore
I don't want to
everything.
do any of those advanced.
And then
Okay.
wait like 2 more.
Barbarian.
Days. We
The
don't have barbarian anymore.
I could.
the shark skin book that we had?
The
That
spirit
was
barbarian.
the
We're dealing with
whole,
spirits.
Superstitious.
Let's see how that
It
goes.
was
No
the book that
magic.
we found that had all his
No
information in
magic.
it, and we read the last page, but not
Okay.
most of them.
Okay.
Does it just anywhere in? If we got time, we got downtime while we're here.
Sure.
Can we study that and see if we can find a location, or at least a general area of where that settlement is?
Where did you get the shark skin book?
We got it by the altar and the bell ringing and
The guy in the tank.
Barbarian hymns.
the tank body.
Just gonna figure
The scum have a tank.
Let's see if I can find the details of what that had. Okay, there was small book bound in shark skin, which was his journal. Describes his first meeting with the neighbors. Does not describe them physically, but gives the impression that the neighbors are something other than human. The journal also mentions the neighbor's home, submerged tunnels at the bottom of Avalon Bay at the base of the Turn Rocks. And the Turn Rocks is the island cluster, the rock cluster, effectively, a couple of miles off of the island, or off of the town in the bay.
Okay, so that
Um,
I
Hor-
ask him if that narrows it down some.
Well, absolutely,
Oh.
and yeah, that I mean, Turn Rocks is a landmark in this area. I mean, there's not much else out in the bay, but the Turn Rocks are well known. Unfortunately, that's where the townfolk typically use to punish prisoners.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Or they just take them out there and leave them? And
yeah, they have a history of death by drowning. Anybody who's sentenced or whatnot, they take out there and they chain to the rocks during low tide.
oh,
If the crabs or the creatures don't eat you, then the water definitely does. Matter of fact, I think there was a guy about a week or two ago they had punished.
an outsider?
I think so.
Oh, did he come in? He had a horse. Ah,
I don't know.
yeah.
There was a bunch of excitement about it. They had taken some boats out there.
Yeah, so how long do you need before your sub-aquamarina machina?
I could be ready tomorrow if you want to go that early. Subaqueous exploration device.
Yes. That's a seed?
SAID.
Seed? Gotcha.
I don't know. I never was very good with them acronyms.
Saeed. Okay, yeah, we need to definitely rest, and I'll wait for the herbalist to
Okay.
make those for us.
Okay.
In the meantime, we got 6 people, right? I'm going to hand out, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, underwater breathing potions that I bought
Okay.
from her before.
Okay.
So you each have that. It lasts an hour. Once you drink it, you can breathe underwater for an hour. And if anybody else has any abilities to, I don't want to drown. The minute I was dealing with water, that's the first thing I was looking for from her.
Yeah, I can,
You can just cast water breathing and target up to 5 people.
And that yours is 8 hours, right?
Mine class
Yeah.
D.
Do those and then
And the important thing on the underwater breathing potions,
Yeah.
it lets you breathe underwater as well as above water.
Oh.
Okay. So it's not one or the other.
Oh. Well, he's got a spell too that does it for 8 hours for
Right.
everybody. But this is like an emergency one for everybody. So y'all got one.
Your secondary emergency tank.
Yes. It's the first emergency.
Although it is difficult to drink underwater.
No, I'll figure that out, please.
Drink it before you
Eat the
go
whole
under.
glass bottle.
I drink the potion. Pop. Crap.
That's breathe in
That's
water.
when you get a straw.
Yes.
You get a silly straw.
Pour it in your small.
You get a beer helmet.
Yes.
You, like,
Okay.
inject it in yourself.
So yeah, I'd like to rest here long enough to regain our levels of.
So are you guys going back to Undiamede House?
Yes, we might as well do that in the meantime as well. As long as he's willing to cast global invisibility on us.
Okay. So are you guys going to take a couple of days to rest and go back there?
Yeah.
Or go today and then tomorrow after resting go out in the bay?
We need to go. If it's has it been a day?
No.
No. We need to at least spend the night that way. He's got enough global invisibility to get back to work, and we need people to either have like scorching ray, burning hands, that kind of stuff. To
Okay.
you don't already have it.
So presumably 2 days. One to go back to Undiamede and then one to get ready for the bay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So the first night, everybody gets fully rested between your lay on hands, heals, etc. Everybody recovers one level of drain, or similar effects if they have it. You don't count. You don't recover any drain.
My 19 drain is not reduced.
You get all your spells back. In the interest of time, sneaking back to Undiamede House is easy with the invisibility. Prepared with flame, you're able to eliminate the mold that's in that room, as well as the large cluster of mold that's piled up around the stone table at this point. Okay. Yes. Amongst that, you're able to recover any of the non-wool, non-wooden type material magic items, which would be the ring. The cloak is burnt up. If you had the cloak.
No, I don't have the cloak.
Okay.
I'll take
Most of it's in the bag of holding.
I'll take his remains and lay them to rest.
Okay.
You can't carry a lot. So.
There's not much of him left.
Yeah. It wasn't much of him to begin
No,
with.
I mean there's like parts of his skull and parts of his bones and things like that. All the meaty bits were converted to mold very quickly.
Read my handwriting. Here you go. I'll give this to Andy.
Okay.
You can read my handwriting, and then there's the
Um,
program.
Can I use the ring of ram?
Only if you agree to knock people off any cliffs that come up.
Out of just respect for him.
Yes, I'll do it for George.
Okay.
I'll take my magnifying glass.
There's a spyglass there too.
There's a feather fall ring if anybody wants to.
Oh, I know. I was prepared. I was like, the person knocks you off the cliff.
You were
Well, it's a good
prepared.
thing I had a feather.
You were prepared, but in the wrong way.
I can now use the force.
Do I have? I want to make sure I.
Oh.
I got
But
it.
would the bag of holding be intact?
I would say the bag of holding, given that they're all going to be coming in with new characters with gear, the bag of holding is badly damaged by the flames, so it would be unreliable to use.
Gotcha. Okay. No,
I still have one if you need.
you have the bag.
I have one, yes.
Rope's gone. Climbing kit probably burned up.
not the
He's got
climbing
33 daggers. Anybody want? He's got 5 daggers. If anybody wants a dagger.
5 daggers, a silver dagger, and
Yeah.
I think like +1 striking dagger also.
Yeah.
I kind of have it down.
Every game he plays, he gathers a bag of daggers.
Anybody want bear traps?
The bulk stuff we could probably sell for more money.
Not to anybody around here.
I'm not to anyone around here, but
Right. We
I'll
can't.
take the +1 dagger.
And if you really want to carry all that stuff long term,
It's +1 silver too.
th-
That's
then
what-
count up your
it's
encumbrance.
against, like, pay.
you're beyond the point of really caring about selling daggers.
yeah, good.
It's not really worthwhile.
So, is there a specific instinct, like superstitious, animal?
For barbarian,
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Well, story wise. You don't need it. That's what I was asking. And then there's also.
Not gonna do anything for you.
I don't think it was on that sheet, but there's also an alchemical crossbow.
But if the face show up,
As opposed to your 4,
Yeah.
as opposed to your 5.
There you go. It could be a scum barbarian.
but it's a silver.
Could.
It is silver.
Yeah, it's a face.
I don't know if that's a race.
It's not. It is a race, but not one you can play.
So with their
Possible.
No.
with
No.
their
Probably
burn
half.
spells and whatnot, they're
Uh-huh.
clearing the room like he was
Probably
in.
a
They
fish
cleared
person.
it.
Probably could play.
Um,
There is like a lot of fish.
I'm gonna look and
person,
see
I
if there's
think.
a locked drawer on the desk.
There is not. All the drawers. Pretty much, you guys have to torch the whole desk
Gotcha.
because it's just riddled with mold.
Anything left in the ashes?
No.
Metal?
No, nothing of note there. The last room appears to be the mansion's master bedroom. There is a large four-poster bed sitting next to a wide fireplace. The bed has been stripped of covers, but the rod and feather mattress still remains, with a large dark stain in the center of it. The wooden headboard once depicted a scene of ships battling upon the waves, now cracked with age and the elements, and large gashes further mar the surface. A wheeled chair with a moldy seat and warped wheels stands at the foot of the bed, and there's a stairwell that leads east into the dome above the house, into like the glass dome up there.
You said there's mold on the wheelchair?
Yeah, it's a moldy seat and warped wheels.
It doesn't
Just
look
look-
like it is thick enough to have like secret areas or anything.
No, yeah, it's just a very basic thing.
It's a silver. Plus
Yeah, we should
silver plus
go up the staircase.
Okay.
See what we can.
Up the staircase, a railed widow's walk stands on top of the dome, the top of the building, looking out over the surrounding marsh. The bricks lining the floor of the top level are sunken as if from some sort of great impact. In the center of the crater area lies a mangled and gore-spattered corpse in the shredded remains of red and green fancy clothes.
This is a picture, or this is what we can see from up there?
When you guys go up there, there's effectively a third floor,
Yeah.
which is a glass domed thing. In the center of it, the floor is tiled, okay, and the center area has been crushed down as if from an impact, and there is a mangled and blood-covered corpse covered in red and green, or wearing red and green clothing that's covered in the blood.
Does it look like the clothing the mayor had when we met him?
No, it looks like religious.
Can I do a attempt to identify it from the distance? Or
Sure.
do I need to get closer?
Sure. 17. Appears to have. It appears to be Gazra,
Actual Gazra.
the town Gazra.
Gotcha. Yeah, the town Gazra. Okay. Does it seem to be missing its head as well?
No.
Okay. Yeah. Does the ground still seem stable even with the impact?
It's bowed down a bit, but yeah, it seems stable.
And there's no hole in the glass above. It's just.
It's
in
open.
Here. Oh, it's open.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
There's about a 20-foot or so gap where the glass comes up and then just leaves an open air section above it.
We'll have.
Like a medicine.
Yeah. If you wanna.
Yeah, you definitely have to get closer to make any determination of how or who it is,
So I'll
how it
go-
died or who it is.
I'll go up there with you, Jenny, if you want to do the medicine check.
I could do airwalk.
Okay, you're gonna cast Airwalk and go over there safely. Okay, how much do you weigh then?
Well, you don't have to come with me.
No.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. She suggests you stay here as she floats a few inches over the ground.
All right.
Okay, she safely goes over there. Go ahead and give me a medicine check.
36.
Okay. It appears to be a priest of the town religion. It bears a likeness to it has similar features to that of seen in those paintings in the hallway, as well as some aspects of a couple of the priests you saw in town. Okay, so it looks like they're related to both families or both groups. From the looks of it, they were killed fairly recently, within the last couple of days. Although you're not sure how, it looks like they fell from an extreme height. No idea beyond that.
So I'm telling you all this stuff.
Meteor Man.
Okay.
Superman.
Give me a perception check.
Already broke.
34.
34. Around him, on the floor, partially obscured by the body in the area, there are a number of charcoal symbols, look to be mystical potentially in nature, carved or written out in a circle, about a 10-foot circle around where he landed.
Can I decipher the runes?
If you, depending on your arcana skills.
Oh, okay. You'd have to come up and check it out, but you
Like a powerful fly.
can you fly? It's
No,
pretty.
I can fly.
It's pretty advanced. It's a priest thing.
I'm so tempted.
You could always arcane eye,
Okay.
or you're pretty light. You could walk over there.
Okay, an arcane eye.
Can I check out these
Prying
arcane
eye.
symbols?
Level 5.
Okay. Prying eye, not arcane eye.
That's what it used to be
Okay,
called.
how about if I take an arcane eye up there and look at it?
Okay, you send your eye over there. Give me a Arcana roll. Knowledge Arcana.
17.
Apparently your eye isn't very good. You recognize them as some sort of summoning runes, but that's about it.
Jennifer's good at arcane.
I can try.
If she's with me, she could see it too, couldn't she?
No, it's self only.
That's self.
It's not a shared eye.
Can I cast it on her?
No, self only. She's floating above the ground, says, "Hey, there's something of interest over here." He casts an arcane eye and studies it from a distance, but can't decipher it enough. So they suggest maybe you want to take a look.
Can I draw it out for
I
her?
can send the
It's a
bird out to
10-foot
look.
ring of mystical symbols. It'll take you quite a while.
As you do. Give me
Okay,
I
you can look
send
through the
out
bird.
to
Okay,
them.
so the bird flies over there, takes a look, hops around. Give me an arcane roll.
28.
28. You recognize them as some sort of summoning runes, like a summoning circle, directed towards the realm known as the Dark Tapestry, which would be like a extra dimensional, deep space type region.
They're summoning ruins. From the Dark Tapestry.
There you go.
That's what happens when you put curtains up on the window.
That's right. They go to town and summon their dark tapestries.
Well, in the dark.
Sure it's not the moldy cat?
Could be.
And that's all the rooms that are up here.
Yeah. This is like an observation room area. Everybody, give me a perception check.
31.
31.
31.
Not anywhere near there.
14.
26.
Okay.
I got a 26.
26. Okay. While you guys are studying it, at one point, a shadow passes above, which you take to be like a cloud or something like that, and then it dawns on you it's a cloudless day. The shadow lasts 3 or 4 seconds, and then it goes away.
Get out of the center. Get away from the hole in the center. Come here. Come on. Come back, come back, come back.
Alright, I'm gonna go back away from the center.
Okay.
I'm going back where we came from down the steps.
And I'm going
Okay.
to keep watching. I'm not coming down yet. I'm going to keep watching
Okay.
the sky to see if I can identify shadow was.
Okay.
Big enough to make a shadow in here.
Okay. The rest of them head back downstairs. There's no sign of anything.
Gotcha. Alright, so when I'm gonna go back downstairs with them and be like, this impact I thought might have been from like a dimension door or something, but I think the shadow of whatever that was is what dropped this body here. We're gonna need to be alert at the skies for sure. No, you fall from the sky.
Whatever it is snatches you, picks you up, takes you in the air, and then drops you.
Is there a specific race?
Yeah.
Easy XP.
Like a water race.
I wouldn't necessarily base it off of that.
I have sword and shape.
I didn't know there
so
was
what
a
happens
race that would
picks me up
work
and
well
just
to
fly.
Skeleton. Then you fly and drop it.
Yeah.
That
and
would,
flies and drops
if you want to
it.
work for the other side.
Well,
Enough to generate
Just
power.
big normal race.
okay, normal race.
And with Luke it generates electricity. from
'Kay.
the fence.
You know the Genie.
Then you go
Alright,
down.
so that's everything here except for the coach in the water. I mean, we could spend the day trying
What-
to pull that out.
Gerbil barbarian.
Or the bedroom. You guys just walk through it.
Oh, we didn't go. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't search it. And so they'll do their whole. This room is clean with their burning hands and whatnot.
Okay.
We'll walk down some sage.
And just walk around blasting everything with fire, just in case.
Just in case.
Okay.
Is there any armoires or closets or anything like that? Or the dark stain on the bed isn't mold, is it? Is that a blood stain?
Yeah, it appears to be a blood stain.
Fresh?
No.
No. We'll search the room and see if we can find anything that this key goes to. Because I feel like with a ship, it's got to be like the Undying's family key or something that unlocks something here.
Okay. Give me a perception check for everybody there that's bothering to search versus if you're keeping guard or watching out.
31.
33.
34.
Ooh,
What do you say?
Okay.
man.
32. This is Axe Place of Power, another natural 20.
Okay.
I got a 31.
We all had surgery.
One day, that was my little good.
All fungible.
Okay.
Oh,
Main thing, you guys, those gashes that are at the headboard, they actually form, when you look at them at the right angle, they form a message, crudely scrawled with some sort of slashing item. Difficult to read after all the years, but you think it says, "The pact ends here, Father."
Oh, Manus killed his dad.
Above the mantle, you find a loose stone, piece of the fireplace, that when you withdraw it, you find a blanket wrapped around a box.
Has it got mold on it?
Right,
It does
it's in
not.
the chimney.
Okay.
I told you.
I'll unwrap
It's
it.
dusty and covered with soot,
Rich
but
people always hide their stuff in chimneys.
that's right.
Well, I'll
Got
unwrap
money
it.
to burn.
Is it a box with a keyhole?
It does not have a keyhole.
Oh, then I will back away from everybody else.
Okay.
I will hold the box away from myself and
Okay.
open it.
And give me a fortitude save. No.
I think you get fortitude. I can get some replay.
Inside is a book.
Well,
It's bound in some sort of strange looking leather. Looks dried and cracked, but not like cowhide. Sort of a grayish color. You're not really readily able to identify it. It has strange geometric symbols all across the cover, on all sides.
I show it to the arcane users and whatnot, see if they can identify it.
Okay. Give me. Do we have linguistics still?
It's society. It's the equivalent. I
got
had
it.
such feats.
Okay. Give me a society roll.
I had the
rolled a
feet
natural 20.
Natural 20. Okay.
Only 13.
There we go. The spell
No
catchers are
longer
really
need the
good here.
archaeologist.
Okay.
Which takes my job.
Um,
Oh, you're.
looking at the book, it appears to be bound in whale hide. Is what is the closest you can come up with. You flip the book open and take a look at it. It's written in a language that you probably don't speak. You think it might be Eslanti. Okay. It's filled with all sorts of diagrams and measurements and things like that, and obviously has quite a bit of value. You'd have to be able to read Eslanti to be able to decipher it, though.
Hey guys, there's writings on here in Eslanti. Does anybody speak Eslanti?
Anybody speak Latin?
No.
Is it religious?
It is not religious.
Could always read, could do comprehend languages and read it during downtime.
Let's see if my bird can speak that language.
The language of ancient Rome. Maybe
That's
we
right.
can speak
It is-
that.
it is
My
a-
character had a
It's-
feat where you constantly.
It's a
comprehend
sophisticated bird.
There you go.
He's
language. We have
studied
a shark
abroad.
book. We have a
That's right.
whale book. Maybe we'll get an octopus book.
Octopi.
And nothing, no other. I'm still looking for this keyhole, and I'm upset that I can't.
There's no sign of a
He only
keyhole.
speaks languages I know.
Okay.
I don't know.
So, I mean, it's a thick enough book. It would probably take, if you could read it, it would probably take on the order of a week to two to really read it. It's not just a short notebook.
Well, let's just stow it for now.
Okay?
If it if it changed, maybe.
Physically back.
There was a picture of a ship in this room too.
On the headboard, several ships.
Oh, the carving.
Yeah.
Gotcha,
Did the other picture with the ship in the room with the dead priest, did it seem particularly valuable?
Not to you, you're dead.
Dead people like art. And you
No.
know witches.
Yeah,
Witches
those
run
like
art
art.
museums, don't they?
They're not dead, they're
next
undead.
Next time someone casts like see undead or see spirits, they're just gonna see all the old party members just slowly following, haunting
Still
the group.
trudging with us. Yeah.
They're off doing their own investigations, their own.
No, they're in the
roles and
previous
stuff.
room looking at the artwork saying, we really like this.
Exactly. Barbarians love art. It's a known fact.
So it's been generations since the first Undying came in, Cassius, right?
The original one, yeah.
Oh, so that one in the wheelchair was probably like a grandson that is named after, because that. With the
Well,
pictures of the
according to the pictures, it would be 8 generations later was the one in the wheelchair.
Gotcha.
And he was pictured with his son.
Manus behind him.
Right.
And if he slaughtered his dad with his wheelchair sitting here, which makes sense. Back to horses. Now that we've got a place and we can try to figure out this book. Maybe horse speaks Aslanti.
Okay. So you guys head back to Horace's, the workshop to hang out.
Anybody else want to
hide out?
No? Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So, and from there, your plan is to rest, get some spells, and then head out on the boat.
Yeah. Go out to the aisles first, where they chain people up.
Okay.
And then go down from there.
Okay. So you guys take another 24 hours to rest. That lets you redefine all your spells. Also lets everybody go up to level 10. So all of that should be ready to go. And then select whatever it is you think you might need for an underwater excursion. As far as spells, abilities, and so forth.
Underwater mirage.
Should I do fin stiffing?
So
Yeah, I can transform into a shark, so
that'll be helpful.
Yep.
Gonna need a bigger boat.
You show up on my predator private.
There's too many backgrounds.
It's only like 100.
More than 100.
Technically, you can also make whatever you want, whatever one you want.
I don't know how that works.
It's basically, I mean, every background basically just gives you like one skill and like one stat advance. but I think there's a background for every combination.
Basically. Kingdom noble.
So. So everybody have their characters advanced already, or do you need to spend a little bit of time doing so?
Of the lake.
Mine,
got
mine
mine.
is advanced.
Okay.
Sure. If you want to, that'd be great. If not, then-
King of the
Do
lake.
you need an illustration?
I'm still down one because we regained one.
You'll get another one for the second night.
for the second night.
If there's anything else you want to do. Now, in concept, if you need another day or two
Yeah.
to get everybody fully healed, effectively you take that time.
Okay.
Okay.
We
There's
could do that, and then do it if anyone has a comprehend language, and then we could
Yeah.
spend.
So you
People could
Right.
spend a day reading the Aslanti book.
that'd be worthwhile as well.
you have comprehend
I have
language.
comprehend
Oh.
language.
Cool.
Okay, as a priest. Okay.
Yeah.
So you can do that, unless you specifically have a timeline or time frame. You guys are welcome to hide out at Horace's for the time being. The town hasn't found you necessarily. Like I said, they normally don't bother him. Depends on what you guys want to do as far as other events happening.
The only other thing I wanted is Horace to give me a rundown of like emergency procedures with his aqueous
Okay.
machine. Like
So he'll cover all that once we get to that point. You have comprehend language, you said? Is that a self-only spell?
30 feet, one creature, 1 hour. So it doesn't really have to be me.
I think
Okay.
There's also tongues. That might
Tongues
be-
let you speak. I don't think it'll let you read.
The target can understand the
I don't
meaning
know.
of a single language, hearing or reading when you cast it. So you
Okay.
you want
So
a
tongues?
It's like an audio book.
creature, a willing creature.
well, my intelligence is low, and my
Mine
wisdom.
too.
So is your intelligence high or your wisdom high?
And
My
one of my
wisdom.
characters there. You get plus 5.
Is your
intelligence.
Tongues last an hour, but it gives you all languages.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
They can understand all words regardless of language. They can also speak languages of other creatures.
Right. Doesn't let
He
you
might
read
have the
though.
highest
Well, it can
intelligence.
understand all words.
Keith, what's your
So
intelligence?
it could be.
Each time the target speaks, it chooses a creature and speaks in the language it understands. It's a speaking
Yeah,
thing.
speaking makes sense.
So comprehend languages will let one person understand one language for an hour.
And you could memorize it like 3 times.
We have no one with intelligence.
I have intelligence.
Oh,
I
you-
told I told
Okay.
you
I
that
Both-
when you
Then
were
yes.
here.
Both spellcasters say, "Hey, wait a minute."
So if you cast it on her,
Nobody's
she's got a better chance of understanding what it is too.
Yeah, and you can memorize 3 of those. So
You're
3
a smarter
hours.
Katie.
Okay. So you can kind of cast it on her. You're gonna read the book. Okay. Klaatu Verata Ectu. Okay. You do a quick scan over the book because you only have about an hour. It's not enough time to actually read the whole details. The book is titled "The Book of Abstruse Geometries." It appears to be a arcane reference book detailing the secrets of dimensions and spaces beyond understanding, including hints of vistas found therein and the creatures that dwell there. Okay, it would take you several weeks of study, but it would give you a bonus on any knowledge checks pertaining to matters concerning the Dark Tapestry and its inhabitants. It also functions as a spell book. Once you've been able to fully absorb it, it gives you access to certain spells, and it gives you the details and methods for conjuring something referred to as a dimensional shambler, as well as equations for calling more than 100 unique dimensional shamblers, allowing you to call one of those creatures if you use a planar binding type spell. Okay, bypassing the shambler's resist conjuration type abilities. Basically, these are creatures that normally can't be summoned, but with this book's information, you can bypass their resistance and be able to do that. Dimensional shamblers are unique extra dimensional creatures. Okay, not I summon an orc. It's I summon this one unique being that there's only one of in the universe type thing. Okay. Yeah.
My thought on that is, does she have to be able to understand it when her bird eats those
Yes.
spells?
Yes.
So she has to understand it.
She has
prior
to. She has to be
beginning.
able to read and understand the whole book
Okay, I just
in
wanna
order
make
to
sure
actually
before-
take the abilities.
No, no, good.
Okay.
She trained in society.
Yes.
What you could do, since we level up, since we found the book, and then we sleep for the night, you could make the choice to take multilingual and choose Aslanti as one of your languages, in place of because it's level 10, so you get a skill feat. So you could take multilingual and take Aslanti as one of the two languages.
Right. Depending on what you end up choosing for level 10.
Yeah.
Or you can just
Now-
increase your intelligence.
But we would have gotten the book. Well, and also it's level 10, so you would get, if you increase your intelligence, you get another language. And if you're intelligence based, you're probably going to do that anyway.
Potentially level 10. Now,
So, yeah.
the other thing, excuse me. The other thing you note, the book makes several references to a side effect using the book, studying the book, using any of its abilities, etc., has the tendency to draw unwanted scrutiny. I.e., the powers that be out in the Dark Tapestry don't like people knowing about them.
Just reading it?
Yes. Reading it, using the abilities, etc., have a chance of attracting the attention of some inhabitant of the Dark Tapestry. And we're talking deity level creatures that you can summon some of them, or they might just decide to come and take the book back type stuff. So the more you use it, the less livable you will be.
Hey, it's,
sort of
it's
thing.
That scroll of power we had that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's
basically,
the mind melting scroll.
you're saying that a literal god could appear.
She has the ability in the book. It has listed equations for calling 100 different god level creatures from the Dark Tapestry to her to do her bidding in theory. Okay? If she can control them and fully understand them and so forth. Now, whenever she uses the book or just reads it, some of those deities might take notice of this mortal reading the book and learning the knowledge and may decide that, yep, we're done with that, and show up to take it back. So the more you use it, the more the risk is type stuff.
So,
Think of it in terms of like the planchette board,
Right.
but more overt.
So the ability to read Aslanti currently, is that something that I now possess?
If you look,
entirely?
well, no, you got it for an hour, which is why you can get a basic understanding of what the book has.
So really,
Okay.
I can't read any more than just for that.
After the hour, it all fades. You still have the knowledge, but you haven't. You have to study it for, like I said, it looks like you're gonna have to study for a week or more to really understand it, to absorb the benefits of it, and then your bird can eat the pages, etc. And until then, that's where learning Aslanti as a language would come in, if it has value to. Now you can share that with other people. If somebody else wants to learn Aslanti, it's a book. Everybody could read it if they want, but it carries the risk of meddling with powers that are outside of your control, and just the act of reading the book can draw the attention of these creatures, according to the book itself.
Okay.
Yeah, like what's
You
your
all heard
intelligence?
that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your intelligence score after you did the level 10 boost?
It's still a 4. You don't get a.
Level 10, you get a boost.
Yeah,
I
level
didn't
10
get
you
an
get a boost.
ability boost.
Basically, we just don't want Cthulhu just popping out of nowhere because
That's
we
the
read the book.
and that's the level that we're talking about.
We're talking Cthulhu level stuff.
Yeah.
It's like,
So it took her to 19. That's why she didn't get the extra point. So it stays at 4 until
Anti-magic.
Oh, okay.
the more
That's
it
why.
takes you to-
She had an 18, she went to 19.
Okay. But you could still take multilingual if you wanted to learn Aslanti. It would just take your skill feat.
Right.
And then you would get another language. So
yeah, we don't want angry octopus man coming or anything else
My
like
skill
him. So.
feat for.
Right here, your skill feat. You can take multilingual, and you get to know as many languages as
I
your
think you get-
intelligence bonus, right?
I think you get 2 languages.
I don't have
yeah.
multilingual as an Maybe it's not called multilingual.
I think you have to be trained in society to get it.
I'm not trained in
Oh.
society.
No, no, you just got 4 the
Are you
most.
trained in society? You're trained.
I mean, you could always get it because you're trained in society.
Yeah, you're trained.
Do you want to summon geometry?
So this
Some
language is
geometry?
something that
That's what it's
everyone's
called, a book of
learning?
It's a
Yes,
geometry
yes,
textbook.
You can learn it as long as you don't
You wanna
have
play
the ability
geometry
to learn
then?
the language. But
He's trained in society.
No, you don't want it? You don't want to learn geometry? Geometry's so fun.
What is that Santi?
it's a language.
Act the even more
Zlanti-
powerful.
Slanti is the language of the Rune Lords.
Oh, so this is like the stuff that Karzook could speak.
Wouldn't that be Thessalonian?
Well, yeah. Aslanti was the Atlantis
Yeah.
of Pathfinder that the Aboleth destroyed with the stone, with the Starstone, that also destroyed the Rune Lords.
Okay, so this whole 7-pointed star lore all goes together.
Yeah, it's Pathfinder. It's all based on the same world. Yeah, the legend is that 10,000 years or whatever ago, the Aboleth struck back against the Rune Lords and Aslanti and brought down the Starstone, which destroyed Aslanti, destroyed most of the world, sent the Rune Lords into hibernation, and years later, Aridin raised the Starstone out of the ocean to form the Starstone Isles, which became its own country, which is the subject of the other campaign we're running, because the Starstone Island is where that's all based.
They could make an entire Pathfinder movie.
They have material for ages to do with Pathfinder. Act the powerful.
Act the powerful's gonna
So-
summon gods now.
Yeah.
Cool. Is he gonna learn it then, or if not, we're gonna hang on to
Magic
the
should
book
not be trusted.
regardless.
Yeah.
You could. To a museum or a collector, the book is very valuable.
Okay.
In the wrong hands, the book is very valuable.
You have to sell it to the highest bidder.
So basically,
takes, like,
you're saying
I'll
that
just put it
that
right
book
in
could
my,
get us
You
like a
study
billion
it and do all
platinum.
that.
You have to be able to read Aslanti long term, and take a week or two to study it
Okay.
full time.
And the demon comes and grabs you while you're reading it.
Quite possibly.
Well, it's you guys all rested and spells figured out and ready to go out to the fancy islands. You good with
He
your
said-
spells?
Good with
Okay.
spells.
Ghost gives me a thumbs up.
Yep. So basically, it's like you can learn the language and
Up to
be
level
able to
3.
translate.
Okay. So the subaqueous exploration device.
Yes.
When he shows it to you, it looks remarkably like a gigantic metal fish. It has 2 large glass portals on either side, so you can see out at the majesty of the undersea world. It has a couple of stout mooring cables or mooring ropes that it hangs from effectively from the boat up above, the trawler. That includes a thick metal tube that leads down from the surface down to below, where with a manual pump, he swears he can pump enough oxygen down to keep you guys able to breathe. Okay. 6 of you is going to be a tight fit. He thinks best he could get 8 in it. But 6 is probably doable with all your gear and your armor and everything. That's going to be challenging, but you guys can do it. You enter and leave through a single, like a 3 or 4 foot hole in the bottom of it, which, as long as he's pumping air, the air pressure keeps the water out. Okay, that stops. It fills up fairly quickly.
It's like a diving bell.
It's a diving bell.
Okay.
It's a diving bell that's shaped like a fish.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll take that.
Very straightforward, very basic. It seems and moves like it is massively heavy. Okay. This is not like modern aquatics or anything. This is steampunk at best metals. So, I mean, the shell of it looks like it's 4 or 5 inches thick. of iron and steel and so forth riveted together. And he swears it stays dry most of the time. It should be good. He hasn't really taken it down more than 10 or 20 feet because he's never had somebody who's willing to go in it. It's always been just him. And the guys at town don't really know how to, don't have any interest in it. They just make fun of him. So he is very eager to see this thing actually work. It has no ability to propel itself in any way. Basically, he maneuvers the boat, and then he can lower it and raise it as desired. Okay. There is a cord that comes in and has a little bell that he can he can ring the bell, and you can pull the cord and ring the bell for him. So you guys decide how you want to communicate with a bell, if that makes a difference. Morse code doesn't exist, and none of you would know it.
2 rings pull us up.
Oh, but also if anyone has telepathy.
And any magical ability certainly would be helpful, yes. He doesn't seem to have any of those.
Man,
No, I
I
do
know.
not have
I
telepathy.
have telepathy with the bird.
Oh, can you change what your bird is? Can it be a fish? Can
No,
it?
I can't be a fish.
I don't know.
I want you to
I
be
don't know.
away.
Tomorrow it can be a fish. Next day it can be a.
Every time you kill it, it comes back as something new, right?
Bigger, angrier.
And then so it goes up into such a big owl that's bigger than the world.
How about this? 1 ring to, so don't do anything if we don't ring at all. 1 ring to descend. And then 2 rings to pull up. And then frantic ringing is pump more oxygen in.
Or bring us up.
Or cut the cable.
Don't cut the cable.
Don't cut the cable.
There's no ring that means cut the cable.
Okay.
So that means if there is no ringing, cut the cable.
No!
You go
You
like,
must ring constantly while you're down there. Never
Never
stop.
stop ringing the bell.
If the ringing ever stops, we need more air.
Two. So yeah, 2.
Functionally, he can go up and he can go down.
Yeah, 2 rings bring us up, and 1 ring to stop, because he's going to descend us until we tell him to stop.
Mhm.
So 1 ring to stop, and then 2 rings to bring us back up.
Okay.
That makes sense. 3 rings to descend again. I don't. Yeah.
Will it stop vertically or stop horizontally?
You don't go
Yeah,
horizontally.
he just goes up and down.
Oh,
it just hangs up
boat
a bit.
moves, doesn't it?
It does, but he's going to get into its position, and the boat's going to maintain its position.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not going to be moving the boat. He's going to be pumping us oxygen.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it is a fish. It's slightly aerodynamic under the water, but it's way too heavy. If he's traveling with the boat and the bell in the water, all it's going to do is break the rope or break the crane that it's on.
Why not call it the whale?
Because it's a fish.
Because it's my subaqueous exploration device.
Sub.
It's sad.
Yes. We'll be when we're dead at the bottom of the water.
Okay.
Yeah, so everybody got everything they need?
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
So early in the morning, before dawn, he is out at his boat loading things up. With your guys' help, you guys got about an hour or 2 before the sun comes up over the horizon. There are storm clouds in the distance and a cold breeze blowing. The waves are relatively calm so far, but by evening he suspects it's probably going to get a little bit worse. Otherwise, everything's loaded up, and by the time the sun's just peeking over, you guys are already heading out into the bay, sailing his boat. The Isinglass, the boat that he has, heads out. The top of the deck is pretty much covered by this submersible. It has several thick ropes connected to the crane next to it, and the whole thing will be lifted off the rear of the boat and lowered down there in order to keep it somewhat stable. The trawler heads out about 5 miles to the Turn Rocks. As the sun's coming up, it's you guys about an hour or so after sunrise. You can see the rocks up ahead. Everybody give me a perception check.
I'm
33.
too worried about the water.
31.
31. Okay.
36.
36. Okay. As the sun is coming up in the west, momentarily, you see what looks like in the distance something rippling in the water, and then for a moment, you see what looks like a mass of tentacles and matted hair emerging from the water. Before the sun comes up, glares. The glare hits your eyes and everything. When you turn back, doesn't look like it's there anymore.
You just summoned Cthulhu. Good job.
Okay.
I'm going to describe what I saw. Big, massive tentacles coming out of the water.
Sure, it wasn't just seaweed. Like
It was too big for seaweed.
Well, time to abandon the plan.
Describe it. It's like a hairball.
That's what I think. Like when you try to
When you say matted hair and stuff like that, I think, okay, a cat had a hairball.
What he describes is that what he describes does look sort of like that one pipe you had.
so I'll,
You realize you were looking through the magnifying glass.
I'll
of a
take
hairball.
the witch is smart, so I'll take the trident
Okay.
off my back and be like predators.
Okay. You scan the water as you guys go. Every so often, yeah, you get a blip of some sort of predator in the water. There is definitely things out there.
Nothing some big giant.
No, nothing massive that overloads the trident. As you guys near the turn rocks, he comes around the side, and you see on the side of the island, which are really nothing more than rocks literally sticking up out of the water, covered with bird droppings and seagulls and so forth. There's a large section of stone that is particularly flat, and a couple of iron manacles nailed into the stone, along with looks like the top half of a body. The water line currently is quite low. It's currently low tide. The bottom half looks like it's just gone.
Does it look like something we can access from the boat where we're at now? Or
He doesn't want to get the boat too close to the rocks. It's too big for that. But if you guys are willing to swim 20 or 30 feet or have some other way to get over to him, yeah, he'll stop and let you guys take a look.
I can swim over there and
Okay, you're gonna hop in the water and swim over. Okay. I assume you don't have a whole lot of encumbrance like metal armor or anything like that. Okay, so you swim over there without any difficulty. There is it looks like a middle-aged man, at least from the upper half. The bottom half looks like has been torn away. As you walk up, the upper half of the body is covered with all sorts of tiny red and brown crabs, just picking at what's left of the meat.
look anything like the mayor by chance?
No, doesn't look like him. Doesn't look like anybody you've seen before.
The concerning part is that's a human being, which means there's something way bigger than a human being inside that ocean.
it could have just been eaten by crabs under the tide with a tide pin.
Half of his body's gone.
Right.
In the waves.
Crabs eat
Hungry hippos.
Oh.
crabs eat people all
It's
the
just
time.
the river hippos.
Yep. We
The
eat crabs
pond
all the
hippo.
time.
Yeah,
They're just getting back at it.
that's right. Meanwhile, Horace pulls his boat over a little bit further. Unless there's something else you want to do, I assume you go back over to the boat. He anchors there and starts unloading the diving bell. Let's see. There is inside. He unhoods a lantern that is burning with a continual flame on the inside. There's a bench that runs around the perimeter on the inside of the fish where you guys would sit normally. Nothing like belts or seat belts or anything like that. So it's hold on the best you can. As long as the lantern is open, you guys can see inside the bell without any problem, but it blocks any view out through the glass because of the reflections. So you'd have to have it off or closed in order to see out. Okay. Let's see. There is open hole in the bottom. You guys can easily get in and out. He's going to stay on top of the boat to operate the air pump. And he has a winch that will swing the thing over and drop it down. With the, 6 of you?
Yes.
Okay. He warned you if the pump stops, you guys have about 10 minutes of air, breathable air. If pressure gets lost, if something punctures the tube or whatever, he suspects it's probably going to fill up real quick.
And we know that if that happens, if that pressure's not there, the water will start filling up from the bottom, so we'll know.
You'll know that the pressure's gone, yeah, absolutely, because it will immediately flood in through the bottom.
So before we start suffocating accidentally.
Well, what I'm saying is he'll pump air down, fresh air. If that pump stops, it doesn't lose pressure, but you'll use up the oxygen in the bell. With 6 of you, you guys got about 10 minutes. If something punctures the air tube, then you're going to lose pressure, and the water will flood in from the bottom. Okay? At which point you'll also lose air, but that'll be a lot faster. Okay? Let's see. He has a winch, a wire with a bell. Okay. That's right. He suggests to ring the bell once when you're exiting the submersible, if you guys are going to leave at any point. Ring the bell. At that point, he doesn't have to keep the air pump going, basically. Ring it twice to resume pumping air, and ring 3 times to haul it back up. Okay? He can take care of the rest of the stuff without really much other interaction. Okay? This area, the lake is about 400 feet deep. So it'll take about 10 minutes to lower you to the floor. During which time he'll have to stop every so often so he can pump air and then lower you some further and so forth. Okay? Trip back up is going to take about an hour. Okay? Generally, he will bring it up a ways and then resume air pump and so forth because it's going to take a lot longer to do that. Okay. From his research and his calculations, he suspects near the base there is old volcanic tunnels in the turned rocks, and that's where he would suggest you guys look. But the water's pretty dark down there. I know you guys have the ability to breathe underwater. You're probably going to need some sort of light. Okay. He can also provide you with each of you with a waxed and sealed leather scroll tube that holds the effect of a single breath of air, if it becomes important.
He said for each of us?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
You have to open it carefully and inhale the contents, which will take a full round action, which does provoke attacks of opportunity while you're concentrating on it. But in a pinch, that might be better than nothing. Okay? Gives you one of each of those. Meanwhile, the herbalist, before you guys left town, provided you guys with 3 moderate antidote potions. That gives whoever uses it a +3 versus poison for 6 hours. Okay?
If you swim, I can turn into a fish, so if anyone needs extra oxygen,
I'm sorry. Sorry about that.
Okay. So, what would you guys like to do? It'll take them an hour or 2 to get everything ready and get everything loaded. You guys can either just wait, or if there's something else you want to check out or look at while you're here.
I'm going to keep scanning with the
Okay.
trident just to
Okay.
see. Does it tell me size of creatures?
No.
Just that there is. A
Just
predator.
that there is a creature.
So as long as we don't have to worry because there's one rapidly approaching us.
Yeah. Now you do get the occasional blip. According to him, there are sharks in the area. There is also squid and octopus. And occasionally, depending on the currents, devilfish come up from the south.
What's a devilfish?
Devilfish are a large, aggressive, carnivorous octopus and squid with barbs instead of suckers along their tentacles.
It's a real
Yes.
animal too. That's the scary thing.
Yes. Sometimes they are known to be intelligent and even magical at times. Yes. Yes. Okay. So a couple hours go by, and finally he starts. He has a whole thing ready. He says he suggests you guys get in now. Then he'll lower it into the water.
Okay.
So, any preparations anybody wishes to do? Like I said, it's about a 10-minute drop to the bottom.
You want to cast? It's 8 hours, right?
Like
Yeah, I
hold my
can
breath.
cast it on to up
Okay.
to 5 people.
What's that? Water breathing?
Water
Yeah.
breathing. So you want to do it on
On 8 people, you said?
5.
5.
5 people.
You can exclude me from it.
It's
I
eight,
know
8 hours.
I can be a fish. So
Okay.
So what 5 people?
He
want
climbs
to
into the fish and acts like a fish.
well, I can become a shark if needed.
For how long though? That's it.
The amount of time for usually.
I think animal form is it's like a minute, I think.
It depends on what form you do. Like pest forms.
Pest form's
Water
10
breathing.
minutes per
10
level.
minutes or an hour, and you
You
can be
two
a
have
fish in
water
that.
breathing.
Pesky
You could be a fish,
Yeah,
yes. If he wants to be a shark, it's a 1 minute.
Shark's different.
The problem is all my spells
Shark
are
is short.
electricity.
Would it be premature to buy water,
perfect.
I
water,
cast
water
electricity
breathing
and
potions for my
zap
character?
us all.
Yes.
Fries.
It would
You guys would not have those.
Okay. That's why I wanted to ask.
Right.
I figured I would ask. That.
Yes, water breathing would not be something you guys would reasonably have.
Okay. That's what I.
I had it because we were just preparing to go. to the
You
water.
guys that are still alive, it makes you guys do whatever you want. He's talking about a replacement character.
Yeah.
Oh.
Having
why I
water
was
breathing
asking.
right now would
That's
not
why I was
is not a valid choice.
Well, I guess I'll cast water breathing on everyone except him.
Okay, except him.
So,
Okay,
including myself.
okay.
With a swim speed of
All of you start
35
suffocating on top of the boat.
and
Well,
1
dang.
minute
Get out.
I'll, while I got time, I'll commune with Pharasma.
Okay,
Ask for her favor and guidance as we go
okay,
to the underground.
okay. Is that an actual ability or just hoping to roll well?
Just hoping to roll
Okay,
well.
okay.
If you get a boon, then that's how you get boons, I'm pretty sure.
You have to do something particularly powerful for Pharasma.
Mm.
Just saying, protect me while I go into this water isn't really particularly
I know
beneficial.
Des knows if you guide a traveler to their home, you get a minor boon.
Yeah,
All
minor.
you have to do is like show them how to get home.
Oh. How often have you guys done that?
Never.
Okay, so it's not that minor, is it?
Just run up to someone. Are you lost? I'm gonna show
Okay.
you your way home.
So you guys all climb into the thing with quite a bit of rocking and shaking and so forth. Big clangs happen and so forth. He starts the pump initially. You guys hear this wheezing sound come from the tube up above you with a stale saltwater smell that blows sort of a moldy, mildewy type airflow into the thing. And then he pushes on the crane and wheels it out over the water. You see him through the porthole, give you a thumbs up, and wait. Okay. As soon as you do that, he hits a lever, and with a loud splash, the rope starts to uncoil. The fish hits the water fairly loud. You guys all get rocked about. Give me a reflex save.
Just a 26.
Cat's luck.
About to fall out of the
I got a 25.
Cat's luck. 27.
36.
Okay.
30.
26.
Okay.
25. Dang.
Let's see.
Using multiple layers of cat's luck. Your cat's luck is gone.
It was under the table.
Yeah. 35.
35. Okay. So you guys are all knocked around. Nobody falls out. Nobody takes any damage, getting bounced against the metal walls. But almost immediately, the fish is in the water. It straightens out fairly quickly. And rather disturbingly, in the center of the bell, you have, like I said, about a 3-foot hole and a wall of water right underneath it. And through the miracles of science and physics, the water doesn't come up into the bell where you guys are as the fish straightens out and starts descending at a fairly rapid clip. Basically, it's in free fall, sinking into the ocean, into the water, while the pump above you slowly blows this mildewy air into the place. Outside the porthole, it goes initially blue and then fades to a green and then gets progressively dark, and then it's pitch black with nothing but your reflections in the window with the light on inside.
Yellow
Would
milk.
you mind casting light on the shield?
Well, did you want to do that or cast it on the apparatus itself?
Also, just cast it on the fish.
Will it make the entire apparatus
You-
glow?
It won't make the outside, it'll make the inside glow if you wanted to do it. But you have a continual light lantern inside the thing. So you guys got plenty of light. But as he described, as long as that lantern is open or there's a light source inside the bell, you can't see out. Because
Cast light
Is it
on
just,
the
is
ocean
it just
itself.
too dark or is
it's
it
too
murky?
it's too dark, and there's too much reflection off the glass coming back in.
I was gonna say if it was murky type of thing.
It's not, yeah, murky would be fine with you at least.
So it's a hooded lantern, though. We can close
It's a hood lantern designed to be closed or opened, and a continual light in it that doesn't use fuel, so it always burns, but doesn't make any heat or anything like that.
We should close that so we can look out the windows while we're descending.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you shut that off. The whole bell goes dark immediately, and as your eyes start to adjust to the gloom and the darkness, it gives you a very pale bluish color to the area as you can see the bay around you. In the distance, he tells you that you can see like the side of the rocks and the place rapidly just flowing past you as the thing falls at a fairly stiff speed. About 6 or 7 minutes down, you guys are descending rapidly. Your ears have popped several times because you guys have gone down several hundred feet. When you feel the fish start to slow down some as he starts to engage the brake on it, it slows down, and about 8 minutes down, 9 minutes down or so, you see the bottom of the bay start to approach, and it comes to a stop maybe 20 feet or so up above the bottom.
And how far away from the rock wall from the archipelago?
Looks like from the edge of the rocks, the closest part, maybe 100 feet.
How many minutes
look-
would it take to get to the surface?
For you to swim back up to
Yeah.
the surface would depend on your swim speed.
35 feet.
So probably about 30 seconds.
Okay, that's good. I was just making sure in case if there was an emergency situation because we are underwater.
With a swim speed, no problem.
Yeah.
With a regular character, you don't have a swim speed. As a shark, you'd have no problem.
Yeah, that's why I was.
As
just
a
making sure.
player, especially with heavy armor, you'll probably drown well before you can get there. Now keep in mind, drowning rules and holding your breath. If you can't breathe, you hold your
Constitution plus 2, I believe.
your con bonus. I think it's +5.
I'll reserve.
I think it's con bonus +5 actions worth of breath. So if you try to swim, that's an action. If you fight, that's an action. If all you do is sit there for a round, it's still an action. Once you reach 0, it's 1 round. I think you're unconscious. Next round, you're dead.
No, you start taking fortitude saves and you rapidly die. Because if
Yeah,
you
I know.
really
I know you
die,
rapidly die, but so
Yeah, you just let me know what that is.
Yeah,
when we're
but-
doing it.
Oh,
That comes up.
yeah. When it comes up, if it comes up, that's the most important part.
a Constitution modifier plus 5.
So, you guys are about 20 feet above the bed of the bay. It is a dark, not pitch black outside, but sort of like a a thick fog at twilight. Very dark. You don't see much. There are little fishes that are swimming by and so forth, but you don't see much else. It's pretty murky and dark outside, so you can't see very far, but it's all a very steady light, so you can make out like the rocks and things like that in the distance.
All right. Well, we don't want to put light on ourselves to attract attention before we get to the tunnels and see if we can find them. So we've all got 7.5 hours worth of air left. So I will. You said there's weight belts. Not that I need that to stay on the boat.
There's no weight belts.
Oh, okay. Well, for myself, I'm just doing.
You got your armor.
Right. I'm a weight belt.
You are.
I will slowly sink out of the.
Okay, you gonna jump in?
Yep.
Okay, so you jump down. I'm assuming you sink more than you swim.
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
so you drop out, sink fairly rapidly the other 20 feet or so, and descend down into the thick mud of the bottom of the bay. It goes up to probably your most of the way to your knees with the mud, and where you step sends up a large cloud of silt and dirt and so forth. Various small fishes swimming by get disturbed and swim off around you. You can see the bell above you, just the dark shape of it, and way up above the small dot of the ship.
And then I can see the
You can make out the silhouette of the rocks, but like I said, it's all murky and dark.
I'm gonna start heading.
Okay.
Hopefully everybody else is coming too. No, you're all staying in the boat.
Okay.
Jump down too.
Okay. Are you planning to walk along the bottom, or are you planning to swim?
I'm gonna try to swim.
Okay. So assuming you can swim and you don't have a whole bunch of equipment. Okay. So
I got a lot of.
yeah, you walk along the bottom.
But I'm keeping the shields on my back and my hammer's put up. I'm walking with the trident.
Okay.
Just to keep it. Not that I can communicate with anybody at this point. Blah blah.
Correct.
Okay, I just realized
You can breathe, but you cannot communicate.
Okay.
Okay. You do realize your shield is going to be useless in the water. Anything that is slashing or bludgeoning will be useless in the water, or near useless. You have big penalties for it. Anything that is piercing is still usable.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Is the shield usable for defense?
Nope. Too big and bulky, and with the water you can't move it around effectively.
Okay.
Unless you have freedom of movement or something like that.
Underwater marauder. allows
Right,
you
there's
to go
feats that
around.
let you do it, but there's also magic that lets you do it.
Heck takes underwater marauder.
Well, there you go.
Are we planning on going into combat down here?
I hope not.
I'm just making sure because now comes the dilemma of I could choose a pest like a minnow and I could be down there for 10 minutes, or I could be a shark and then only be down there.
You
for
do
1 minute.
you do what you want. The cat is swimming and the champion is on the floor.
Hard finding magic.
Yeah, I'm going to. I'll do pest form into. I'll do pest form into a minnow and go down. Well, I'm gonna jump in first and then transform
Okay.
into a minnow.
Farm of a minnow.
Yeah.
I'm still in the bell. I flopped my way over to it.
Now I got 10 minutes of water.
Okay, and who are you going to hang out by?
I'm going to hang out by who was the last one to get out?
The cat?
I'll go.
Only
for
two
cat.
people have gotten out so far.
I'll go for cat.
Okay, so
That'll go good.
yeah, the cat jumps into the water.
And then sees food.
Shortly thereafter, you notice a druid-colored fish swimming by you that seems to be hanging out right near you. Okay. He does look delicious. Okay. I know you were heading towards the rocks, I'm assuming. Where are you going to go? Like I said, you're looking out. You see the dark silhouette of the rocks themselves. It's a fairly large wall in front of you. There are various rocky outcroppings and so forth around, but generally speaking, the rest of the bay is fairly flat. Although, I mean, it's a lake bed. There's lots of uneven ground and so forth.
I was gonna follow along with him.
Okay, swim above him. Okay, yeah, he's leaving effectively a large cloud behind him as he's pushing through the water. So, what are the rest of you guys doing?
No, I'm gonna swim with them, I guess.
Okay.
Are you swimming? Are you?
I'm swimming.
I was talking to Chris.
Oh.
Okay. You jump in and swim with him.
What do I do with
Um,
my birdie?
You guys taking all of your stuff? Because some things may not survive in water.
What?
I'm thinking things like food or spell books, scrolls.
If I was a gunslinger, I would have been
I'll
useless.
leave the special letter about the Lich King, the special letter about the
On
Lich
the
King.
boat or in the diving bell?
In the boat, probably. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's. I need you to figure that. If
Yeah.
if it's something that you left in the boat, that's fine.
Yeah.
If it's something you leave in the diving bell, that's fine too.
But
That's a
other
good
than that, you
question
don't-
about, like, my bird can't come with me, right?
It can't breathe underwater.
But it can stay in the.
It can stay in the diving bell, sure. Bring the bell in case it needs something,
Probably leave
or if it gets bored.
The two books that you guys found, the shark book and the
Now the
geometry
diving
book,
bell
probably on the
leaves
boat
without
in the-
us
in the warehouse.
because it rained twice.
We'll leave
Yeah,
that
we'll
in
leave
there
those.
too.
The two books we have.
Okay.
The book up on the boat.
Well, you might want to put it on the boat.
If you have a bag of holding,
I do.
I'll consider that as water sealable.
Well, you can put your critter in there. It doesn't breathe.
Okay. If it doesn't breathe, then
The bird
technically,
breathes, right?
yeah, it's just
Isn't it an extra?
no,
It's not like the
it's an
metal
extra
bird
dimensional
that-
thing, but it's still a bird. When
It
it's
still
here,
dies
it
as a
just
bird.
comes. It just gets another one. It gets reborn the next day if it
You're
dies.
not a real bird.
Go back as a fish. Go back as a fish.
Every day it shows up, I kill it until it comes back as a fish.
It's a robot.
You'll learn, you'll
So, but your bag of holding, I'll count that as water sealable. So whatever you want to put in the bag of holding is fine, because otherwise they would just fill up with water.
Okay.
I mean, if you open it, it will fill up with water. But otherwise, it's a container you could put something in. If
Well,
you
that's
don't have,
in there
okay,
anyway,
okay, if you don't have a bag of holding, like I don't know if you do or not,
except for the stuff on my bandage.
you probably don't want to bring your spell books or scrolls or things like that.
Is she still able to cast spells without her critter with her? Yeah, she can. She just can't
Yeah.
channel it through it. That's all.
Yes, but you can't cast anything that has verbal components when you're underwater.
Right. Well, I don't have purple.
Actually, I don't think you can cast anything underwater because you
Because you're,
somatic might be the only one, and even that you're going to have a concentration check.
yep.
Lay on hands. I can just touch you.
Underwater marauder.
Yeah.
That allows you to do all that, except still speak. But
Yeah.
that's why you get an
I think we're good.
That's why you get an
Okay.
Air bubble. Yep.
And everything else you guys were leaving, you were leaving on the boat.
The boat itself.
Okay, just wanted to make sure I knew where everything was. Okay, so we got 2 cats and a champion in the water and a fish. 2 cats, a champion, and a fish enter the lake.
Are you coming with us?
Okay,
Are you just swimming?
Ack,
Wearing your armor.
Ack jumps in.
Is Andy wearing his
Keith
armor?
is
Yeah.
still in the boat.
That's why he's on the bottom.
The bell is over there, so-
Oh, were you gonna swim too?
He's the anchor.
Uh huh.
So what you do is you tie a rope.
So you going with him, Druid?
Well, supposedly we bring the bell to go out. He's gonna quit pumping air in it. So
The bird's still in the boat.
Well, you,
what she said.
yeah. If you tell him to, he won't waste the time pumping air.
Oh.
Yeah,
That'll
do
suffocate the bird.
Do the
What?
I said that'll
One
suffocate
ring.
the bird.
ring the
What
bell. One.
If-
Are you staying or not? That's all I
He
need.
stops pumping air in.
Okay, I need you to ring the bell once then.
Why?
Because that has him stop pumping the air,
There's no harm in him continuing to pump the air.
except he becomes exhausted, and then when we need him to pump air, he can't pump air.
That's gonna kill the bird.
He's
though.
manually pumping air into
No,
us.
if it's got
It's not a real bird. It's fine.
that much
It's a robot.
volume.
He's a real boy.
You're not a real bird.
I want a real bird for Christmas.
Regardless, you can take, if you have your bag of holding, you can take your bird in the bag of holding. It can breathe for plenty of time. It's just a bird. Okay. And even with him not pumping, if it's just a bird in the diving bell, it can last quite a long time.
I mean, bring it because we probably won't be underwater the whole time. I hope. I don't like being underwater.
Now you just stay there.
I'll
for a
bring him
while.
with me.
Okay. So, and were you going?
I guess So
Are you swimming or walking along the bottom?
swimming.
Okay, so everybody's swimming over the champion who's just leaving this cloud of mud behind him.
Very fast.
Okay, everybody give me a perception check.
32.
Not
32.
bad. 16.
18.
Okay.
27.
You head towards the rocks themselves, and as you get closer, there is several openings that are under underhangs at the bottom of the place, and you see what looks like a yellowish glow coming from inside the cave. From the surface, it would be completely invisible underneath the overhang, but from the bottom in the mud and everything, you can see it as the angle.
I'm working my way straight for that.
Okay, you go over to it on the side of the cavern, underneath there. As you guys go into the under the overhang, there's seaweed and various plants, lots of little fish. One minnow just keeps sticking around you guys. There is a large circular wall basically in front of you, completely transparent, apparently holding back the water from on the other side. It looks like some dry stairs that go up.
Try to push my hand through it.
Okay, you feel something sort of like jelly that you're touching. You think it's a gelatinous cube you have to dive into. And then there's a displacer piece behind you. No, you see, it feels, it gives as you push on it, and then your hands start to go through whatever the gel is, and they emerge on the other side into what feels like dry air.
I immediately push my way in.
Okay.
I'm tired of being underwater.
Okay. Yeah, you push through. I mean, you're already fatigued just from the exertion of walking across the mud for the 100 or 200 feet or so. You get onto the other side to catch your breath. It pushes through, and when you're on the other side, it's basically like a large lens made out of a jelly type substance that when you get to the other side, it seals naturally behind you.
Oh, cool.
And you find yourself covered with a sweet-smelling slime of some sort that sort of drips off you almost like water itself, and catching your breath in what smells like sulfuric air. There's like a strange, acidic, slightly unpleasant, almost chemical smell to the air.
He did say it was volcanic tunnels,
Mhm.
so that makes sense.
Okay.
We'll wait for everybody for sure.
Okay. Everybody, I'm assuming one by one pushes their way through, short of the fish.
I transform back into human and
Okay.
go through.
Okay.
Minnow flopsters. Push it back.
I had to specify that, otherwise I would have been flopping on the floor.
Save me!
This whole dungeon, the fish are just flopping around.
Okay.
Now I'll pull my shield.
Okay. Now you pull your shield. As you guys get set up and everything, there is, like I said, a set of stairs that lead up the tunnel and then curves off to the right. The entire place is lit by an unseen force. You don't see any sign of light or anything, but it's all lit to a normal level.
Is it bright then? Like it's just, I mean, it's not.
It's like this room.
Oh, okay.
It's not scary bright or anything like that, but there's no sign of like lights or anything like that.
Before
Okay.
we move on, I need to take a moment to meditate because I used my focus point on the minnow, and I'm pretty sure either way I'm gonna need one to get back.
And you said I was fatigued, right?
Yeah, you'll take it.
Just-
Just take a
just
few
tired.
minutes to catch
Okay.
your breath type
All
stuff.
right,
So
then,
same
yeah,
sort of thing.
We'll do. We'll sit in for.
Okay. Is there any other preparation sorts of things now that you guys are on dry land? Anybody wants to do that's long term?
Yeah, the bird is.
Yeah, you can pull your bird out. Okay. You pull the bird out of the bag. You're still not a real bird.
I'm using the trident out.
Okay.
From into the ocean you go.
At that point, you put like a self-aware collar on.
So now what you guys can do is next time you go to town, you get some real birds and put them in her bag of holding. And then when she pulls the bird back, you are a real bird.
She has to figure out which one's really hers.
That's right.
Imposter bird.
And you can throw it, and it's piercing.
Okay. The walls of the chamber are black stone. They're covered with bits of slimy green, sort of tendrils wherever there's cracks and everything, sort of like a mold or a slime. The walls and ceiling are damp. The air, like I said, smells of sulfur and sort of a chemically smell. There's also a strong scent of rotting fish.
You gotta wash yourself, Minnow. Let's head up that staircase, guys. Yeah,
Okay.
We're on a time limit here.
They only got 7 hours.
I know.
Okay. So you guys gather up and head up? Okay.
7 hours till what happens?
We can't breathe underwater anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Then no one leaves.
And I've got another hour for an hour and 1 minute. Apparently.
Well, I mean, I could leave, but...
Yeah.
Okay. So let me switch over the maps. As soon as it thinks about it. Should just be a big black screen.
Not yet.
Okay. So who was going first?
I am.
Okay.
It is a big black screen.
It is a big black screen. Okay,
it's
players.
completely
Okay, so we have Arius is going first. Who's going after you?
I'll go.
Okay, I'll put Arius here.
Whoa.
Oh, it just revealed everything. I'll hide.
Okay.
I moved the map away.
Suddenly a giant flash of
Okay.
light briefly appeared in there.
Well, that's not effective. Since it's supposed to have walls. Okay. Well. Okay, so because I'm gonna have to make some alterations on this at this point, you guys will probably end a few minutes early as a result because I don't want to go on without revealing the whole thing. However, you guys push up the chamber. It goes up a bit and then opens up into the first large chamber. The place is empty. There is a tunnel on the far side that leads further into whatever this cave complex. However, you guys notice off on the side there are 3 people bound, gagged, and tied up, lying unconscious on the ground. Dressed in plain clothes. They don't look like they're supposed to be here. They appear to have been left behind prisoners and so forth.
No baby.
No baby, no.
Mayor?
No mayor.
Nope. Kill him.
Kill them all!
Chop their heads off.
Yep, they're unconscious.
Then I will move up and well, if they're just unconscious, then a lay on hands should, or a medicine check will. You guys want to do medicine check on 2 of them?
Okay, check them.
Yeah, see if you can bring them back.
Okay. You do some medicine on. Basically, they're just unconscious. They look like they're malnourished. They haven't and dehydrated.
I know what
It's these 3 characters for obvious reasons. So they don't have. Somebody isn't done with their character yet, anyways.
I'm getting gear.
Okay. Well, it's good because they don't have any gear. But it's these 3 characters. You wake them up, assuming you at least ungag them. I don't know if you choose to untie them or not.
Well, if they look like a chatty Cathy, I might not ungag them, but we'll untie them.
Any of you named Kathy, or particularly chatty?
I don't have a name yet. So.
He might be Kathy.
It's K-A-T.
Since they're malnourished, I'll use the create food.
He's a chatty catty.
No, I knew it was probably big.
Okay. They tell you each of them have a similar but different story depending on what background they end up choosing. Each of them each of them were captured sometime recently, attacked in the night, taken captive, and put down in this room along with several other people. Over the course of the last several days, scum would show up, what you think was about once a day, take one of the captives and haul them away and never be seen again. Every so often they'd come and take another person. You're the 3 that remain.
The lucky ones.
Yep, the lucky ones. Okay. You guys are otherwise fine, barring some malnutrition and lack of water, and no sign of your current gear that was relieved from you for recovery.
Who are you guys?
I have no idea.
He's got amnesia.
He seems slightly
They've been hit over the
translucent.
head very hard.
George, there is an amnesia.
I know. I am able.
I have no idea.
Your name is Kathy?
It smells molded.
That's right.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and call my implements. Are they, as long they appear in my hands, it's one action. As long as they're within 1 mile of me.
Based on.
Based on, it's an ability I have. So I have my weapon,
Uh-huh.
my chalice, which I have abilities based on those. And as long as I have a free hand, I tug on the bonds of ownership between yourself and your implement, causing it to find its way back to you. You look down and find that your implement has mysteriously appeared in your free hand as long as it was within 1 mile and on the same plane.
That's okay.
If another creature has it, they have to make a will save.
Alright, what class are you?
Okay, if a creature has it, they have to make a will save? Okay.
That is
Currently
100%
holding on to it.
solid vomit.
Okay.
What's
So,
that
prevent the
you,
implement
you
from teleporting.
assuming you release them.
It's a magic
Yeah.
fight.
Okay. You release them, they get up. Apparently he has a sword or something.
A sword and like the Holy Grail.
Why didn't you do that
It's a
before?
chalice, but it's like a fancy grail.
So the Holy Grail from the Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Yeah.
What character class are you?
I'm a thaumaturge.
Thaumaturge.
So basically, I use different implements, which are like it's like a paranormal investigator. So I have specific items that let me do like supernatural things to fight different creatures.
Okay.
And so you
So
get a list.
he gets untied, he stands up and seems to have a golden cup and a sword. I'm not really sure where he had it. He didn't have it a moment ago, but he does now. You got anything like that? Nope. How about you? The other two look at him in confusion.
I'm gonna drink from my cup.
He's just like, yeah, thirsty.
Feeling so much better now. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's
Sure.
That's cool.
Meanwhile, I
Second
just
level
turn into
feat.
stuff.
What's your name?
I kind of built
Nice
this
to meet
character
you,
to be like not social, like
That's not a good idea.
Yeah.
This group is all about sociability.
They are.
They go
What's
around.
your
They meet and greet everybody in towns. They give them bullets in the face, and
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'll give them my name only. My name's Swordland.
Swordland?
Zordlin.
Alright, tie him back up.
They won't talk.
Tie this one up and take his sword away.
Well, he's gonna get it back.
Maybe.
So you tie it back up, you throw the sword across the room,
We
he
have
gets
to
the
ru-
sword again.
We have to run a mile.
I just get it back.
Oh.
Well,
That's amazing.
you'll notice that I look exactly like the professor, like the exact same.
Yeah.
Last time you saw him.
Yeah, you guys. As he stands up, dusts himself off, pulls out his sword and everything, he's the spitting image of
Well,
Professor Lorimer.
I am Professor Petros Lormor. adventurer and studier of the occult.
I thought you died.
Wait a minute. That means
I did
that means he's
but I
undead.
didn't.
So you're undead.
I don't think you. It sounds like he's an apparition. Yep.
Well,
So we should kill him.
So we roll initiative.
This might be an issue for my
It could be.
put you to rest type of guy.
well, you see,
I don't
I'm
know.
not actually the professor.
Oh, that's good.
So
I
the
just
pro-
claimed to be.
So
Yeah.
he's a liar. Kill him.
when he
Breaking all
was
sorts
on,
of laws already.
exactly, yeah. When the professor was on one of his missions, he found a cursed mirror, and he looked at it, and I came out because you see, mirrors are supernatural, and sometimes they make illusionary duplicates.
So you're a
And
curse.
so, yeah,
So
Well,
you're
it-
just a
this is-
copy.
basically, yes, I'm a reflection.
And you
So-
got magical flying things that can come to you.
Well,
So-
no, I don't know.
Or you got magic weapons that just appear out of
So-
nowhere.
It's
Yeah,
his
have that.
story. let
After
him
it
tell
happened, did you have your own adventures, or do you just keep his memories?
I had
the
my own
past and
adventures. I don't have all his memories and stuff, but basically we adventured for a while, and then eventually I wanted to go off and do my own adventures, and so I just went off adventuring.
So
And
antisocial.
yeah, yeah, and then
My
some
character.
fishmen found me, and now I'm here.
That's right.
Yeah,
I have to say that is one of the coolest characters.
yeah,
I've
that's
heard of in a long time.
And he can teleport his weapons to himself.
Right?
yeah, yes, I use these
I'm a
too.
beer man.
Bad news, your original self is dead.
Yeah, I heard news of that. So I was originally gonna look for you guys, but then I got kidnapped.
And George is still forming up. He's not sure what he is yet.
Because
He's
we don't know
covered in
anything
too
Oh,
about you.
he's a dwarf. We've determined that.
Oh, I am
This
a
one's a
dwarf.
dwarf, or he's a dwarf.
He's a
I'm an
dwarf.
elf.
He's an elf. so
He's
I
an
can see
elf,
why.
a human elf dwarf.
Oh, there we
We
go.
haven't had a
There you
full
go.
elf in this campaign.
Correct.
I got my class set. You need to play whatever that other dude, sword person.
He has a sword.
Okay,
I
there
have
you
a
go.
sword. It's a
There you go.
khopesh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
we changed our
An
names
Egyptian
around.
sword.
There you go. We're changing
All
our
you
names
know
around.
is my name.
Yeah, that's
it.
right.
Okay.
Here, I'll tell you.
So we will end here so that I can take some time to actually put proper walls on this complex, since apparently those disappeared.